thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, everyone. We're so excited to have you all today with us for She Loves Tech Finals, the local round for the world's largest startup competition for women in technology. While we're waiting for more of you to join us, let's start by taking a pic of last year's She Loves Tech was happening in China.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Loves Tech 2019. You are now a part of the largest women in tech startup competition in the world.
Over 80% of the teachers are female, and I just feel fortunate that I'm working with them every day. Today, they are working on this innovative technology platform. The moms, now they feel so happy with this global teaching service that they're able to obtain on a VIP Kid platform.
在很多女性的创业者身上看到很多的闪光的地方，这是不是一个好的创业者？跟他其实是男性女性没有关系的，也不要去贴这样的标签。每个时代都会有自己创业公司，只不过它用不同的形式在。其实今天只需要你，不光是有自己一个 truly believe 的想法，有一个 vision， 你还得有 step by step 每件事情都做到对的这样的一个执行力。
So yeah, thank you again everyone for joining us this late afternoon for She Loves Tech Indonesia Finals, the local round of the world's largest startup competition for women in technology. We're excited to have you all. Today we'll have 10 of our finalists pitching their startup ideas and innovation for a spot to represent Indonesia at the global stage. I am Rani and I will be your host for today. This year, She Loves Tech Indonesia 2020 is coordinated by Angin, the first and largest angel investment network in Indonesia, and Teja Ventures, the first Pan-Asia Gender Lens Fund. We would like to also thank our local community partners, Kumpul, Wanita Network, AVP and Asia, WomenWorks, and AZ Ventures. Also our regional partners, Gobi partners, and our regional media partner, E27, for their amazing and enormous support for our event this year. And on top of our top 10 and all-star judges, we are honored as well to be joined today by our all-star panel of judges. Later on, I will be introducing them all. And also later on, we'll be joined by our ambassadors, Sridali Shabana and Dayudara, for a fireside chat on Indonesian women in tech and women's role in the economy. To officially start our Indonesia finals, I would like to invite to the floor Virginia Tan, co-founder of She Loves Tech and also founding partner of Teja Ventures, to address her opening remarks on She Loves Tech. On to you, Virginia.
Thank you, dear Rani. Good afternoon to everybody here. Welcome to She Loves Tech Indonesia. I think when we founded this competition in a tiny room in 2015 in the heart of Beijing, with about 100 people, we never thought that one day She Loves Tech would be in 30 countries, 6 continents across the world. This year alone, we received 3,000 over applications in a couple of months. And you know, for the Indonesian round, it was so competitive that it took us actually quite a long time to decide, you know, which 10 startups we would showcase. So thank you very, very much for that support. And we've been really, really impressed, you know, by that increasing quality of the startups and the entrepreneurs that we see. We first started doing She Loves Tech Indonesia in 2017. I remember I was there, you know, sitting in a room, you know, mentoring some of the startups. And I think ever since then, you know, the pool of women-led or women impact startups have sort of increased, and it's very, very nice to see. Next slide, please. So She Loves Tech is now the world's largest startup competition for women and countries across 6 continents this year. We believe in looking for and accelerating the best entrepreneurs and technology for transformative impact. Without women, we cannot solve the world's greatest challenges. Next slide, please. And I think, you know, I think the way people are looking at women as a force for tech is slowly changing. You know, it's not just about diversity, but it's actually about what I call cognitive diversity and the value of that, you know, and women to me represent a new generation of innovation and disruptive thinking. And I think as a whole world, we need to have the best minds sort of solve the greatest challenges, especially in the world that we find ourselves today, you know, in a post-COVID world, whereby a lot of the world that we lived in, those gaps are actually very exposed. And empowered by technology, as you will see, a lot of the startups today, they're changing the way we live and work. Something very interesting that I saw from She Loves Tech in last year is that, you know, I was seeing a lot of tech, technology companies in sustainability, you know, clean tech, agriculture come up for the first time. Last year, our winner, Jala Tech, you know, was a IoT-powered shrimp farming startup, and they got funded by, I think, 500 and a bunch of other investors right after She Loves Tech. So, you know, in many ways, I feel like women are leading this new charge of building companies, and the way they're building companies and the reasons why they're building companies is actually extremely inspiring to me, especially as I build up my own fund, Teja Ventures, you know, to invest in a lot of these types of companies. Next slide, please. So what do? We create a global ecosystem for women in technology. We are very proud to work with, you know, the best accelerators, investors, media, and corporates throughout the world. We champion the best entrepreneurs. You know, we've also had male entrepreneurs pitching as well sometimes, you know, especially when they are building technology for women, which can benefit women as a whole. And we believe, you know, in providing a global stage, you know, through education and mentorship and the publicity that comes with winning the competition to entrepreneurs. And we want to, you know, really focus on transformative technology, you know, which can create impact by, you know, strategic resources. You know, sometimes it could just be one introduction, you know, to the right investor or to the right company or the right mentor, and that can actually change, you know, the destiny of a startup. So that's what we're all about, and we're incredibly grateful to our mentors, judges, and our community here today. You know, with our long-term partners, Onion as well, to be able to do that here in Indonesia. I think my vision for Indonesia is that one day, you know, startups from all across Indonesia will be able to join She Loves Tech. From, you know, I think we have startups from more than just Jakarta right now, but, you know, increasingly we want to see more from all the rest of the part of the country as well. And in many ways, I think COVID-19 has given us an opportunity to go fully digital across the world. Next slide, please. So this is some of the impact that we've had. 30 plus international locations. If we add the startups that we've had this year, it's 5,000 global startups. I think this year, more than 150 million has been raised by our top startups in the last 5 years. And, you know, and increasingly, I think what we're thinking about She Loves Tech as we go on to the next level is actually how, if let's say we accelerate 1,000 startups a year, then if each startup goes on to raise $1 million, then we will be unlocking $1 billion in capital. And I think that's the way we are really thinking about She Loves Tech as an ecosystem, and also what types of educational and other supportive resources do entrepreneurs need to be able to unlock that first $1 million. And we look to our community, and especially the startups today, to tell us, you know, what is needed. As you can see, stage is Jala Tech, which is the She Loves Tech Indonesian winner. Next slide, please. So in 2020, these are some of the countries that we're in. Some of the countries we're in for the first time, like Australia, like Chile in South America, you know, more locations in Europe, Sri Lanka for the first time, etc. And we look forward to expanding that. Our core programming, actually, you know, we have the competition, and then in late November, and I would hope, you know, I would love to invite all of you then, our global conference and our global finals, where we have top 10 startups from across the globe compete in front of a great panel of judges. And then, and increasingly, we're pushing out education, tailored curriculum, you know, to really address the pain points of women entrepreneurs. Something that we want to do next year very heavily is to push out fundraising curriculum, purely focused on just solving the funding gap for female entrepreneurs. And that's something we're really focused on. Yeah. Next slide, please. Please follow us on social media. You know, we have WhatsApp groups. We also have a new Facebook group. You know, apart from a Facebook page, we have a Facebook group for all of the finalists from 2020. So, Yeah, please, please join us, and thank you for spending your time here at She Loves Tech. We're looking forward to very, very exciting competition today. I can't wait. Rani and I really, with Angin, had such a hard time picking out the so kudos to all of you. Back to you, Rani.
Thank you, Virginia, for the opening remarks and what She Loves Tech is and what we stand for. We're really excited indeed for today. Kudos to all of the finalists, ranging from various practicals. Today, we are excited to have our finalists, all women-founded startups, from ALIA, Azura Marine, GIGI.Id, HiPajak, Krealogi, Nalagenetics, HiPajak, TransTrack, Siklus, WePlus, and Waterhub. Before we start, I would like to invite our esteemed judges to the floor. Introduce. We have Paul Ark, advisor of Gobi Partners. We have Sagar Tandon, founding member of Moonshot Ventures. We have Tanisha, principal of AC Ventures. And we have Natriavi with us today as well, CPO of Awan Tunai and CEO of WomenWorks. Before we start, I think I will let the judges do the introduction by themselves. Maybe start from Paul. You want to say hi, introduce yourself a bit?
Sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Paul Ark. I am sitting here in Bangkok, Thailand. I am with Gobi Partners. So in addition to being a proud supporter of She Loves Tech, we are a Pan-Asian venture capital firm with over US $1 billion of assets under management. I work with Gobi as an advisor working on a variety of initiatives, most particularly around ESG and sustainability.
Thank you, Paul, for joining us today. So excited to have you. Sagar, you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. So hi, this is Sagar. I'm based out of Jakarta, Indonesia. So I represent a venture fund called Moonshot Ventures. We have recently launched our first fund called Indonesia Women Empowerment Fund, where we are looking to invest in gender diverse teams, which actually create some kind of a woman empowerment using technology-based platforms. So anywhere from fintech to marketplaces, all kinds of platforms which are using technology to scale and empower women in some way, we would love to look at. We look at from the 3 layers perspective is one is women MSMEs, women who are owning their own MSMEs, women who are not working, and women who are actually working in professional life. Can you provide them products and services? It can be sector agnostic. So we are a sector agnostic fund. We look at gender diversity, gender diverse entrepreneurs. So yeah, I'm very excited to be part of it and looking forward to the company's pitching today.
Thank you, Sagar. We're so excited to have you on our judging panel today. Next, we have Tanisha. Tanisha, you want to come in and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name's Tanisha and I'm a principal with AC Ventures, which is based up in Jakarta, Indonesia. So AC Ventures is joint forces of firms Convergence Ventures and Agadi Venture Capital. So between our teams, we have more than 100 mil of funds under management and just over 70 portfolio companies. So we invest in the early stages of companies' journeys, so ranging from pre-seed up to Series B stages. So we can invest anywhere as small as 100K right up to about 3 mil into our various portfolio companies. We invest across a range of sectors, including things like e-commerce, healthcare, education, and many other large-scale sectors. And we have a very strong focus on Indonesia. So that's why it's great to be a part of a program such as She Loves Tech today, where we get to see even more really great startups that are doing interesting things in Indonesia.
Thank you, Tanisha. We're so excited to have you on our judging panel today. Next, last but not least, we have Natriavi, CPO of Awan Tunai and CEO of WomenWorks.
Hello, hi everyone. It's great to be here. So as most of the women that is going to pitch today, I am also an entrepreneur. So I co-founded Awan Tunai, which is basically supply chain tech SME for MSMEs that we big.
Wendy, I think we lost you
for them. And also right now I'm digital platform for mentorship for women. And so yeah.
Happy to have you here, Wendy. So Wendy is a part of Awan Tunai and also WomenWorks. Okay, so for today, before we officially start moving on to our big and main agenda, which is the pitching session, I will let you know how the format will be. So for today, for the pitching session, each of the startups will have 5 minutes pre-recorded pitch to be played, and it will be followed by a live Q&A session by the judges, where they will answer about 2 to 3 questions that the judges has, and each of the representatives will join us to the floor in alphabetical turn. So to officially go into our pitching agenda, to kick it off, we would like to invite our first finalist of today. It's ALIA, your AI financial best friend that helps people to budget, track spending, and save money. Nadia, you want to say hi and greetings to the judges and the audiences?
Yeah, hi everyone and judges. I'm Nadia, CEO of ALIA. I'm also a financial educator. I've been teaching financial literacy for more than 5 years and been teaching to more than 30,000 people. And it's such an honor to present alongside these amazing women-led startups. I hope you enjoy the presentations and let me know if you have any questions later on. Thank you.
So on to the pitch.
Hi, I'm Nadia. I'm from ALIA, your go-to money management mobile app in Indonesia. I would like you to meet Indonesian millennial and Gen Z. They spend most of their day trying to make it for a living. But still, one of the main problems that they often mention is money. Money makes them anxious. They don't even know where their money goes. Some of them even don't think they can buy a house with their current saving. Some women even say that just let their husband and parents buy it for them. And they face that kind of problem every day, yet they have to make financial decisions every day too. As a result, they tend to overspend by almost 20% of their income and miss their important financial goals. That is why ALIA wants to fix that. We want to create better experience in tracking and budgeting to make smarter decisions. We provide 3 main solutions. First one, easy and automatic spending tracking, so always know where your money goes. Second, wasteful spending detection and alert to avoid overspending. Last one, AI smart money recommendation based on your spending pattern to make smarter decisions. So what we are a personalized money management app. We have 2 main features, money management, where a user can track their money, budget, and track their saving, even get analysis. And to help users to make smart decisions, we have AI financial assistant, where a user can get private recommendation by text just a minute away on budgeting, saving, and spending based on their habit. We are targeting 83 million Gen Z and millennial in the middle income class with salary more than 6 million a month. And with this, we believe we have big potential market size with total available market reaching 3.2 billion USD and potential obtainable market around 100 million USD. But why ALIA? ALIA differentiates ourselves with budgeting and online banking app. Because with ALIA, you can track your money and get on-demand recommendations to understand your money better in one app. And it only costs you subscription fee, nothing else. While for budgeting app, the UI is usually cluttered with excessive features that you don't really need, and their approach is mostly accounting based, lack of guidance what to do next with your money. And for online banking, you also can budget and get smart categorization like in ALIA, and also you cannot get recommendation as well. And you have to have bank account. But with ALIA, you can get all of those features and also save time and money to get financial planners. And even better, we can help you to form better financial habits as well. We use freemium model to generate money. And to acquire users, we use influencer advertising, and most importantly, we use community as well. And we have 2 versions. The first one is a free version where we generate revenue from AdMob, and we provide basic financial features. And we also have paid version where we charge $22 a year and with features to connect to their banks and provide private consultation with ALIA. But we believe this is just the beginning because we have future potential revenue, which is targeted advertising once we have enough data. Now we are still in our alpha version, But we have good traction already with more than 1,500 organic social media subscribers. And even better, 20% conversion to our alpha. And last one, we also secured 4 partnership with potential 5 million reach. But we believe we are still a long way to go. We plan to launch our beta test in Q3 and also get 1,000 users by the end of the year and officially launch next year. And also get 50,000 users next year and secure fundraising. We believe our team can deliver this big mission. I am Nadia. I have financial background. I'm MIT Master of Finance graduate with past experience in investment and founder of financial literacy organization with more than 30,000 people reached. My partner Susan, she is a genius in technology. She is MIT PhD, specialized in artificial intelligence, and also ex-software engineer at Twitter. But we cannot do this alone. We need your help. We need 100,000 until 200,000 additional funding. And also we need also connection to advisors from fintech and also financial sectors. That is all from ALIA, and we hope we can connect soon. Hi.
Awesome. So yeah, you're recording that pitch. Now on to the live Q&A sessions. Judges, if you have any question, the floor is yours. We have slot for 2 to 3 questions from the judges.
I have a question if I might start.
Yeah.
So Nadia, thank you very much for that presentation. For the unpaid free service, your slide indicated that it would be manual tracking. So presumably users would be inputting their information into the app on a regular basis, correct? And is that by manual data input, or are you allowing for some sort of photo capture and some sort of optical technology that will sort out the data?
Okay, thank you for your question before that. But for now, we already have the technology for the manual, but we are planning to incorporate OCR as well. So for instance, you have like a e-statement for your from your bank account, so you can take a picture of it and then help you to categorize your transaction and add to your budget as well.
And then really quickly, for the paid version, what is the state of API banking in Indonesia for those that want to connect to their banks?
Okay, so actually in Indonesia, we are still on the way to open banking. So it's not advanced like the one in the Europe. So the way it works, like now we extract data from the banks and just few data. That is why we are building a bank level security system for our extraction data from the bank, because it's not really open banking like in the Europe now. But we still see that there is a huge gap that we can tap into now before open banking. So once there's open banking in Indonesia, we can directly tap into that once we have enough users by that time.
Meaning that you're currently scraping data from financial websites?
Yeah, that's the case for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Nadia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, sorry. When you go ahead.
No, so I actually is very interested in this what do you call it product, and I'm actually also very big user. I've used Spendi. I've used a lot of other kind of like financial products as well. So the issues that I have is, number one, manual input. I can never get my husband to do it, and you know, we just end up not using it at all. And second, there was actually if you look at Spendi, they can actually connect with BCA, which I'm connected with, but then sometimes, you know, it's a very lag. There's a lag in it, and I get panicked because it turns out that my balance account is not the same as the bank account that I see. So I was just wondering on the market knowledge that you have regarding this. So number one, how are you planning to solve for issues in which people are just basically lazy to do manual input? And second one is whether you actually know what's happening with Spendi, because they actually seem to be connected with the BCA actually.
Okay. Okay, so to answer the first question, I'm also the user of Spendy and all of those budgeting apps. That's why I built ALIA. And then for manual transaction, we found out most of people, they find that it's really tedious to add, especially if the user experience is not really good. So what we are doing right now, so usually we have, for now, for our first 1,000 customers, have community for that. So we help them to track transaction. We use gamification. For instance, you need to input manually for 1 week to get additional features or additional video or additional tutorial to budget, for instance. So we kind of incorporate gamification for the manual input. And for the second one, for the automated transaction, so the way it works, for Spendy and also Money Lover, they have connection to the banks, but it's kind of lagging it because so what we are building right now, so we built the system where you can you can extract your account 4 times a day. So it's not really real time, but at least it's 4 times a day. Your information will be updated directly to our platform. So what's we are building right now, and that's the issue with Spendy is also happening not only in Indonesia but all over the world as well. But for now, from our tech stack, we are trying to faster the process for now.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. Maybe we have one more slot for questions. Sagar?
Yep. So one quick question. I won't spend more time on the product piece. I would like to understand from the go-to-market strategy piece for something like this. And when you talk about GTM, can you also touch base a little bit on the revenue side also? Is it something which is just subscription, or tomorrow you see it as a credit product also?
Okay. So there are 2 questions. So I'm gonna answer the first question about the go-to-market first. I think I explained about the user acquisition. So we will highlight on the first one to go-to-market, micro-influencer, community, content marketing. But what is more important for us is organization partners. So right now we are partnering with AdTech and also universities and also other youth organization as well to partner with us to have a financial classes to get more users in the first year. So we have for instance, next month we will have classes with more than 1,000 participants, and then we will also give them our as part of the financial classes as well. So that is our first go-to-market for now. And then the second question is about the revenue model. So for now, we are using a freemium model because we are still testing the market as well. We want to know the user feedbacks, but after that, after we get enough data from our customers, what their spending habit, so we can also provide targeted advertising as well, as I mentioned before. So we can provide what kind of product that is suitable for our customers. So that is our pipeline in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, judges, for the questions. So we're just gonna move, thank you so much. So we're gonna move on to our second finalist of the day. It's Azura Marine. Azura Marine is it's electric propulsion for small boat. They're providing clean and free sailing every day for everyone. So Teja is here with us. Teja, you wanna do brief greetings and introduce yourself to the judges?
Hi everyone, the judges, the finalists, and the spectators. My name is Nadia, CEO of Azura Marine Indonesia, and here is my pitch.
Hi, my name is Nadia from Azura Marine Indonesia, electric propulsion system for small boat to support sustainable fishing. In the society, small fishermen are facing difficulty to make a living. They spend more than 50% of their income only to buy fossil fuel. We offer a solution to tackle this problem. Meet Manta 1.0 electric propulsion engine powered by in-house designed lithium-ion battery. The battery equipped with a sensor that is able to retrieve data from a fishing trip, such as location and distance and speed. Manta is able to cruise for 3.5 hours at top speed in 5 knots. When fishermen shifting from fuel engine to Manta, they can saving up to 60% for monthly expenses. We launched Manta back in 2019 in September, and almost a year after, we sell the first product, and by the end of the year, we are going to hand over the first product to early adopter. Since we launched, we already have 6 potential customers that is interesting to use Manta in their business process. And we have 100 potential fishermen from 2 different locations in Bali. What is small fisherman? Small fisherman is fishermen with catching area less than 5 kilometers from the coastal, and they are using small boat around 5 meters long. In Southeast Asia, there are over than 1 million fishermen. Across Indonesia, we have around 500,000 fishermen. And specific in Bali, there are 46,000 fishermen. Our target market share is 9,000 fishermen, equal with 20% of total in Bali. This is our business model to set foot on the market. Once Azura Marine receive a funding, we are going to convert it into X species of Manta and lease it through Banjar. From there, Banjar rent it to fishermen. Fishermen have the option for payment scheme. They have flexibility to choose payment period in weekly or monthly. So basically, the fishermen pay Azura Marine in low interest through the Banjar. I like to touch on environment benefit. Manta bring benefit for the environment. Comparison carbon footprint between fuel engine and Manta, it is obvious. By using Manta monthly, a fisherman going to reduce 345 kilogram carbon dioxide. And by the year using Manta, they are going to reduce 4 tons of carbon dioxide. 36,800 tons of carbon dioxide is going to reduce by 20% of our target market share. Manta competitor are the big brand that powered by fossil fuel. Yamaha and Honda are the biggest competitor and commonly used in Bali. Our 3 plans are start next year to cover all Bali area, and that means start series production. In 2022, we want to start community approach to Java and East Indonesia. And in 1 year after that, by 2023, we are going to equip fishermen in Java and East Indonesia with Manta. Azura Marine Vision is leading in electric propulsion boat by make sailing 100% clean and provide clean tech available for everyone. We are a small team of 3. There is me, Nadia Nabila, a passionate ocean lover with a Master of Engineering background. Second is Julian, a sailor with electromechanical and naval architect. Third is Avandri, passionate jurist and impact advocate, focusing in SDG. You can help us by invest, donate, partnership, or simply share our story to your surrounding. Visit us on our website, azura-marine.com/earth. Every 10% you invested will help to reduce 13 kilograms of carbon footprint and improve the livelihood of one fisherman.
Okay. Do we have Nadia here? Okay. Hi, Dea. Thank you for the presentation. So I think we got almost everything, the points clear enough. So maybe we'll just move on to the Q&A sessions. So judges, please, if you have any questions, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nadia. If I can start with a question around to what extent will the fishermen and the boat owners need to adapt what they currently have in order to kind of fit a Manta, and how will this follow on into maintenance and servicing as well? So as well as having more fishermen using your devices, will you also need to be training and skilling people in terms of that kind of ongoing maintenance for these devices on boats?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Tanisha. So using Manta, definitely they don't need a monthly maintenance. You're changing the oil and everything because this Manta working without vibrant. So there is no maintenance needed. And regarding the teaching people to the troubleshooting and everything, as long as we start the series production, we also want to open the workshop where we will train the local technician to help the fishermen if they have troubleshoot. But before we launch it, we make sure that the mechanic itself, there will be no scientific troubleshoot. I mean, like basically it's just cable plug-in for the end user. And the lifetime itself, it's gonna stay there for 10 years at least. So, well, yeah. the troubleshoot will be not really heavy one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else from the judge? Yeah. Paul.
Yes, Nadia, can I ask, are you working purely on a sales model, or are you also looking to potentially lease propulsion systems?
So Manta, now we're trying to put Manta for every possibly target market. The one that I mentioned, I have 6 potential customers. It's coming from B2G, and for this fisherman market, we are going to lease it to them to the middle organization. I call it Banjar, but in reality, it could be any organization that agree with our scheme.
And just out of curiosity, because your presentation said that the battery life is good for 3.5 hours. How long are fishermen typically out for a day?
Fishermen typically out for a day with 5 liters of fossil fuel. They're going to cruise until at least 2.5 until 3 hours. So basically, we still have spare if they want a little bit cruising around the coastal.
Okay, so one charge will basically take care of 1 day of fishing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else from the judging panel? If not, we have one question from the audience.
Yep.
But I will let Sagar, Wendy, you have any questions for now? Okay. So one audience actually asked about the suitability of Manta. Is it suitable for all kind of fishing methods? And what is the speed range of the boat?
Okay, Manta is suitable for kind of fishing that using a small fishing gear. That I mentioned, the coastal, the fishing area is not more than 5 kilometers from the coastal, and the speed range maximum at 5 knots. In 5 knots, they can reach 3.5 hours, but if they're using Manta less than 5 knots, it could be longer.
Okay, thank you, Teja. So I guess we finished for Azura Marine. Thank you, Teja, for joining us. And next, on to the third finalist of the day. It's GIGI.Id. It's a teledentistry platform, access to affordable oral and dental health services for all. Armelia, do you want to say brief greetings and say hi to everyone?
Yes, thank you, Rani. Hello, everyone. Hi, judges, Paul, Sagar, Tanisha, Wendy, also Virginia. Thank you for the opportunity to share our story today. My name is Armelia from GIGI.Id, the teledentistry application that will improve community access for dental health, especially in the new normal era. Let's go watch my pitch. Hello, we are GIGI.Id. My name is Armelia. I'm a dentist, lecturer, researcher, also a wife and a mother. According to 2018 National Basic Health Research, there are 58% of Indonesia population, or around 150 million people, have oral and dental health problems, and only around 10% receive dental care. In Indonesia, dental health services is a woman majority sector. 4 out of 5 dentists are women. Women like myself who have balanced being a dentist, wife, mother at the same time. Our market validation survey identified the key issue of going to the dentist is access and fear. Fear of pain, fear of costly bill, and fear due to the lack of quality information. The solution that we offer is a public user application that contains 4 main features. The first one is oral and dental health information. Second is a clinic locator to find the nearest dental clinic, and the ability to view the dentist profile and online consultation. And the last one, we have a special feature by sending photos of patient teeth to the application to get medical advice without having to meet their dentist directly. There are 3 connected applications in our dental health ecosystem: for public user, for dentist user, for health facilities user. The application for dentist user helps women dentists to improve balanced work life. It helps them to practice dentistry from home for anyone, anywhere in Indonesia with a mobile phone. Our business model is a hybrid with 3 main incomes: a teledentistry free from patient, the patient commission free from clinic, and also a monthly fee from the clinic, with a projected income of $20 million over 5 years. Our competitive landscape, we are the first teledentistry application in Indonesia with a social enterprise spirit focusing on promotive and preventive care across Indonesia. 80% dentists in Indonesia are women. Our teledentistry application will help them to improve work-life balance. For go-to-market strategy as part of our social mission, we are launching Sejuta Senyum Indonesia Timur Teledentistry program. We bring together volunteer dentists to provide free dental health access in East Indonesia and promoting the use of GIGI.Id application to the public, dentists, and health facilities. Our goal is to provide the first national coverage teledentistry services in Indonesia by 2023. GIGI.Id currently has 135 health partners with 80% women in 16 provinces. We have good network partnership with Indonesia Dental Association with 36,000 dentist members and Faculty of Dentistry in Indonesia. We have a team that has decades of experience in their fields. What we offer, potential market of millions of Indonesia who has dental health problems, the first teledentistry application in Indonesia where in the new normal era, patients are required to use teledentistry before come to the clinic. Opportunity to be part of journey in a woman-funded startup with a clear social impact and to support the new normal health practices. What we need, we are seeking investor and advisor to help with the marketing and the product development strategies. Our mission is to achieve equal distribution of affordable dental health services in Indonesia and then to the rest of the world. Thank you. Salam. Sejuta Senyum, Indonesia.
Thank you, Armelia. Maybe we can play a bit of this.
Kesadaran masyarakat akan pentingnya kesehatan gigi dan mulut itu masih sangat kurang. Sangat perlu karena dengan mengedukasi pasien lewat aplikasi dan mempertemukan dokter gigi dengan pasiennya, masyarakat bisa lebih aware terhadap kesehatan gigi dan mulutnya.
Dengan adanya aplikasi teledentistry GIGI.Id ini sangat memudahkan banget sih. Secara masa pandemi kita juga banyakkan semuanya online dan saya sebagai ibu rumah tangga berprofesi dokter gigi dan juga sebagai businesswoman tuh terbantu banget.
Okay. Thank you Armelia for pre-recording your pitch. Now on to the live Q&A sessions again. Julius, please, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. Armelia, thank you very much for that. Your presentation, your pitch outlined a number of different business models and potential revenue streams. Can you kind of give us an idea of which revenue streams are probably going to be most critical to your company and where you stand at the moment in terms of traction?
Maybe we can share the slide with the business model. Yeah. So for our income, we will have the teledentistry fee. That's the most. I think that's the main income for our application because we will have a lot of user because we were targeting millions of Indonesia who has oral and dental health problem. And in Indonesia, as we know, based on survey also, we can say like 90% people know how to brush their teeth, but only 2% that know how to brush teeth properly. So they will have a lot of problems. So with our application, we also have a promotive and preventive dental health education. They will know that. So we will have a lot of income from the teledentistry, and also we will have income also from the fee from the clinic because we will have collaboration with the clinic. So every clinic will subscribe our application, and they will have monthly fee also to the clinic.
So are these numbers here on the slide, like the 5.5, 7.4, so on, are those annual expected revenue numbers, or is that cumulative over the
5
5 years?
years. After 5 years.
Yes. And you're currently pre-revenue at the moment?
Yes.
Thank you.
Have you, just to build on what Paul asked, have you tested any of these business models currently with your certain percentage of patients and clinics?
Yes.
And what you have observed, how many Indonesians or how many tested sample you have right now?
You're saying?
How many people you have experiment this? So you are pre-revenue. Have you started giving your application to the clinics or patients? How many?
Yes. So at this moment we have dentists who as volunteer also in application because it's still free at this moment, and we have like around 20 volunteers dentists. So they will have schedule day by day for the consultation, all the consultation, also sending a picture. And then we have download almost around, if I'm not mistaken, around 300 users at this moment. They already sending picture to us. They already do online consultation.
Got it. On the online consultation, I think somebody also asked from the audience also. Yeah. So how is it different from Hello Doc or any of these telemedicine apps? And I think everybody gonna ask you, how are you gonna differentiate? Are you gonna put this application inside Hello Doc also?
Yeah.
Please.
So our application is especially for teledentistry application. This is the first in Indonesia, and we have a special feature. They can sending photos to our application, and then they got the first assessment from the photos. And we are also focusing on promotive and preventive. That's why we have a go-to-market program that we will have a program for East Indonesia Timur teledentistry program that we will ask of maybe 100 of dentists to volunteer, and we will go to a promotive and preventive care also there to help them. And we plan to send the intraoral camera. If you heard before, we have an intraoral camera that's as big as finger, so we can send the tools there. So the healthcare workers in Indonesia Timur can help people there, because we can say almost there's no dentist there. So the health workers can use this intraoral camera and take a photos of the oral cavities and then send it to the application, so we can help people from the rural area with this application.
Got it.
Okay, thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Paul. Anyone else? Wendy or Tanisha, you have any more questions to add?
Yeah, sure. I just have one question, Armelia.
Yes.
So, who are the early adopters that you think will be for this app?
Adapters?
Mm-hmm. So obviously there's a lot of target market here, and I was just wondering on who are the early adopters that you're thinking of
this application.
Yes, from a user side.
Okay, so we are thinking, of course, Indonesia Timur, because we want to do the what do you call it? Equal distribution in all around Indonesia. But we also want to targeting the urban, big city, because people in the big city, they know how to use application and they use the gadget. So we also targeting in the big city and Java, Sumatra, DKI, also Jabodetabek.
Okay, got it. And you're targeting people for awareness, or also for those that has treatment issues. So, for example, if I have an issue with my teeth, and I know I need to go to see a doctor,
yes.
Would I be part of this as well, or is it just more on awareness?
We also focus on people who need treatment, especially in this new normal era. You cannot go to the dentist just like that at this moment. You have to do a consultation or teledentistry first. It's already stated in Indonesia Dental Association regulation that you have to do teledentistry before you come to the clinic, because a dentist is a very, what do we call it? We can spread the virus easily because our tools is like spraying, so become aerosol. So it's very dangerous to go to the dentist. That's why there's a regulation now that you have to do teledentistry or online first. If we can help you with online, then you don't have to go to the dentist, because it's very risky at this moment if you go to the dentist directly, because our tools is creating water and aerosol. Yes.
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any okay. Thank you, Armelogist. Yeah. Now on to our next HiPajak. I would like to invite Tracy to join as a one assistant helping MSMEs in Indonesia. Tracy, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, judges, participants, and also SLT communities. I'm Tracy Teja from HiPajak. Pajak in here means tax. Enjoy my pitch. Hi, I'm Tracy from HiPajak. HiPajak helps MSME Indonesia as one app tax assistant that solves confusion when doing tax activities using artificial and human intelligence. Before I'm going further, I want to explain about Indonesia tax environment. First is Indonesia tax ratio is very low, just around 11%. It is because of insufficient of data. And now government try to integrate everything. For example, like making passport and opening bank account must have tax ID. But in this transition time, there's still confusion going to happen around taxpayer. Why? Because of first, Indonesia has self-assessment tax system where people must do and check tax by themselves, but not everyone understands tax. Second one is Indonesia have assistanship culture where Indonesian people prefer to paying others to solve their problem, but tax consultant is very expensive. And we are here, HiPajak, as one app tax assistant beyond tax consultant. You can do recommendation through us, and also you can record your tax through us, and you can calculate your tax accurately, and then also you can pay your tax directly through us, and also you can report directly to government through us too, and even you can consult with your tax consultant, and it is as easy as chatting with your friend. And why now we think it is the right time to enter the market? First, from the three type of taxpayer, there's only one type that rise significantly in the past 4 years, and majority of this type is working millennials because they trust government more. And second one is now government have so many access to track your transaction. First, in this picture is Shopee seller who got letter from government. Second one is now Google asking for tax ID. It never happened before. And what really happened in our society, these e-commerce sellers and also YouTuber must pay their tax, but both of them is too busy, and second one does not understand tax at all. And also paying tax consultant is very expensive, even more expensive than their tax itself. So it is doesn't make sense to pay tax consultant. And to be remember, tax in Indonesia is monthly basis. Our market size is potential addressable market is 70 trillion rupiah or $5 billion. With more than 200 million taxpayer, and it will rise significantly in the next 10 years because of bonus demography. This is a comparison with competitor, and this is tax experience in Indonesia. First, people usually asking around, then do administrative, going through the consultation in the last one. And our competitor, traditional tax
consultant usually just focus on the first and last of the experience, while in the middle, our online competitor who do that. And we are one-stop solution that the only one who have tax chatbot and also have registered patent, and we are easiest one compared to our competitor. And our target market is slightly different. We are MSME, while other is corporate. This is our execution. We launching on 29 January. Our downloader is more than 25,000, and our average consultation is 100 people. And from the downloader, 60% of them is active user. You can see here in the last 1 month, there is rise significant because we just start doing marketing activity. Because for March to December 2020, there is an incentive for tax because of pandemic, and MSME tax is free. Our acquisition cost is $0.6. This is our revenue channel. Our business model is freemium. Our revenue comes from subscription, add-on, commission fee, and also transaction fee. In the next 10 years, best case scenario, we will become market leader with 2 billion in revenue. A realistic one, we still get 100 million profit. Our mission is to make it easy to do tax anywhere, helping Indonesia to be better by helping growing tax compliance. And our vision is serving 150 million taxpayer and build smart and effective tax ecosystem, and then going global. This is our product development. In this Q4 of 2020, we focus on API with partner, and we're going to become smart money management apps. This is our team. Our background come from financial services, digital agency, and also tech company. Last month, we just get award from Alibaba Get Global Challenge. We become first winner and also viewer choice award. And this is our media coverage, and we go to national Palace Indonesia, and we go to Directorate General of Taxes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, for your presentation. Now on to the live Q&A sessions. Judges, please, if you have any questions, the floor is yours.
Hi, Tracy. This side Sagar. Very good presentation how you have put together. And as you have described, your focus is MSMEs. How do you go acquire them on your platform? And how many of them actually buy that premium subscription from you?
Okay. Thank you, Sagar, for the question. The first question, sorry, I didn't really get it. But for the second one, already 300 people who start subscribe with us. And yeah, that's the answer. Sorry for the first question.
So I was asking, how do you go acquire your customers?
Okay. We do the partnership. First, we already do partnership with Ministry of SME. And also we already do partnership with the banking. And now in this month, we do the finishing partnership with e-commerce, some of the unicorn, and 2 banking and 1 of financial services. We go from that. For banking, we go to their micro banking services. And for e-commerce, we become aggregator for their seller.
Got it, got it, got it. So you focus on the banks, but you don't focus on the fintechs? So the fintechs which focus on MSMEs?
For now, because we have access to the bank, we go to the bank first.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. Perhaps if I can learn a little bit more around to what extent are the SMEs relying on banks to facilitate their business and trade? Because my understanding is that it would be quite cash intensive, and potentially that might feed into their kind of standing and approach towards the submission of their tax. So I'd be interested to learn to what extent are a lot of MSMEs now more digitally enabled, be it by the fintechs and the banks, and how do you see this translating into their tax requirements?
Okay, thank you for the question. First is, even before the pandemic, the penetration of the digitalization is not too high, but because of the pandemic, it makes them like search of the digitalization. It's like more than 60% of the penetration because they must do that. And then also for the micro banking, even though they use cash, but when they do credit in the certain of certain amount of credit, they must have tax ID at least. So it is like they don't have any other excuses not to have the tax ID.
And is that access to credit or extension of credit to their customers?
It's like maybe not maybe, but helping the credit scoring. Because if you have more tax compliance, it helps for the credit scoring to be better.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Tracy, can I ask, how are users inputting their financial data into your app?
We have like a very simple journal, but it's like monthly or weekly revenue.
So that's manual input?
Yes, but we'll do like later. We will have a partnership with the payment gateway. So it will not payment gateway, but POS. So it will like connect it directly. So they don't need to input anymore. But for now, they still need to input the revenue.
And then what is the purpose of the artificial intelligence? What is it? What sort of solutions or results is it generating?
Okay. Actually, we divided our feature into two. First is do it yourself, and the second one is consultation with tax consultants. And this do it yourself using chatbot for now.
Okay, so it's more conversational AI, or is it AI that's sort of looking for creative ways to minimize tax or look for different opportunities? I'm trying, because you can apply AI to a variety of different areas. So I'm trying to understand what you're doing with the AI.
For now, it's still conversational because we don't have enough data. But for later, it's more like creative AI.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
judges.
you.
Anyone else want to add any questions? Okay. So on to our next startup, Krealogi by Duanyam, a digital supply chain platform for SMEs to digitize their operations and increase their sales and profit potential. Ayu, you want to introduce yourself and say brief greetings to everyone?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Ayu from Krealogi by Duanyam, and I'm really excited and thankful for the opportunity to share our venture with all of you. Look forward to hear your feedback and hope you enjoy the recorded pitch. Hi, everyone. I'm Ayu, co-founder and CEO of Krealogi by Duanyam, a digital supply chain platform for craft small medium enterprises. Krealogi comes out of Duanyam first-hand experience as the leading ethical craft brand in Indonesia, where we have over 1,000 individual women artisans supplying quality products to over 300 wholesale buyers, domestic and globally, including our latest partnership with IKEA. We are able to be where we are today because we have a robust supply chain system. Now, we want to scale our business and impact by offering the system to other craft SME. In Indonesia alone, there are 1.2 million craft SME with high-quality products, but they are unable to access the global demand of 526 billion USD due to unorganized production planning, poor logistics, lack of cost, and financial tracking. This leads to the SME being notorious as unreliable supplier. They're also unable to access financing that can help them grow because they don't even know how much products they produce or how much profit that they made last year. This is unfortunate because the craft market is sizable and growing. It includes not just specific products like basketries, but also fashion like batik, leather goods, ceramic, and woodwork. Basically everything that is manufactured not in a factory. McKinsey's study shows that with digitalization, we can uplift SME revenue by 13%, and the SME themselves are already more than willing to invest in technology that can help improve their operations and financial efficiency, especially post-COVID-19. Unfortunately, the digital solutions available in the market only focus for trading-based SME, not manufacturing-based SME. So several solutions are available, but only for accounting and inventory. No affordable, simple solution for manufacturing like an ERP system exists. The current alternatives are either the super expensive SAP, or they can use Excel or even manual pen and paper. So this is where Krealogi comes in. All the problems SME have in their supply chain results in demand loss due to inability to fulfill large order and loss of credibility due to late delivery. They also have profit loss due to inefficiency in their production and operation. Krealogi offers two-pronged solution. First, a supply chain mobile app to boost SME productivity, increasing their profit and sales potential. Second, integrated ecosystem to connect SME with access to market, financing, and logistics. The user-friendly app will be the only app the SME need to manage their business. It consists of order management, production planning, inventory management, and cost tracking. There will be an API integration to e-commerce and fintech as well. Beyond the app, we offer integrated ecosystem. We provide market access to Duanyam buyer networks, and we will partner with e-commerce. We also provide financing, shipping consolidation, learning modules to improve business skills, and design consultation. We will start with the vertical of craft and fashion industry, as this is where we have the most experience and network. But our digital solution is scalable to other industry with similar manual long production, such as food processing industry. The MVP of our app has been used since last year by Duanyam Philippines in remote areas in Flores, even by those who only graduated elementary school or those who only learned to use smartphone in the past 3 months. Now, the first module of the app has been tested and used internally by Duanyam. By October, all modules of the app will be completed. First quarter next year, we'll do the official launch where we have the paid premium features for the app and API integration with e-commerce. Second quarter, we'll provide access to financing, and by then we aim to have 10,000 total users. Now, we will get these users through 3 channels. In the beginning, more SME will be acquired and subsidized via government, CSR, and NGO partnership, as we already have this partnership as we speak. But as we move on, we will shift more towards commercial partnership with fintech and e-commerce, as well as through Duanyam own outreach, including the use of sales agent and commission schemes. The revenue will come from 3 sources. First, the fintech agency fees by channeling financing to previously unbankable SME, leveraging data from the app. Next, the basic app is free, but there are premium features, and the subscription is $5 to $25 monthly. And lastly, the sales of the products sourced from Krealogi users to Duanyam channels. We're already recognized as key opinion leader in craft, and as we speak, we are partnering with Indonesian, UK, and Norway government to provide trainings and digitize SME. We are 100% women-owned and led. The co-founders comes from different backgrounds, me from consulting, Melia from business, and Hannah from community development. We have received pre-seed investment from highly connected angels and impact investment. We also have senior team in supply chain, engineering, and marketing with over 10 years experience in their field. So we strongly believe if anyone were to disrupt the craft industry in Indonesia, it will be us, Krealogi by Duanyam. Thank you for your time. Look forward to have you joining our effort to lead digital revolution for creativity.
Okay, thank you, Ayu, for pre-recording that pitch. Now on to the live Q&A sessions. Judges, if you have any questions, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, I have a question. Azalea, thank you very much for that. So is Krealogi end customer facing, or are you, or is it the SME, they have their own sort of storefront and then you're doing pretty much all the sort of back of house functions?
So it is for the back end of the SME in managing their business, and the user will be the SME.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else from the judge?
Well, I'll ask another one if no one has
Yes,
anything.
of course.
So are you, for the fulfillment, are you going to be outsourcing to third party, either delivery or warehousing? Are you going to be maintaining your own warehousing, your own delivery fleets and whatnot?
So we will be doing partnership with third party logistics. So for example, in East Indonesia, in Flores, we're already in discussion also with PT Pos, for example, to manage the warehouse and the logistics. And then as we move on to new areas, we will have partners setting up a hub for project based. So it's not going to be our own asset, but it's going to be an outsourced partnership. And we're very confident on doing this because our head of supply chain has experience actually in disaster relief project where they are making those temporary hubs work in the duration of the project.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ayu. I'd love to learn a little bit more around the total market potential. So on one of your earlier slides, you showed that there's a $526 billion demand for craft, for Indonesian craft. Are you able to talk a little bit more about that and how your kind of marketplace partnerships with Shopee, Tokopedia, Lazada are able to serve that market demand?
Yeah, okay. So actually, I think there is a synergy between the supply chain app itself, which is Krealogi, which with Duanyam, which is the craft brand. So Duanyam has its own buyer network, so including all the large, furniture retail, global export clients, right? And this is where the 526 billion is market is still growing, and Indonesia is only serving less than 5% of that, despite having high quality skill and natural resources to answer that market. Now we will be. Actually, Duanyam can source from Krealogi users, because when we have hundreds of thousands of SME, we have a lot more options, and it's much easier we can release like the request for proposal from all the users of the app, so they can bid their products and in their pricing, and we actually also know their performance because they're using the app. Now, on the other hand, we are not guaranteeing market for everybody, right? So because some of the SME actually have their own market. We have partners, we know SME that's already, serving the Japanese market for the past 10, 15 years. But what they need is actually one, increase in efficiency and access to financing. Because surprisingly, like this SME partner selling products to Japan for 10 years and having revenue of 150,000 per year, but he cannot access financing. He doesn't know how, he doesn't have data to back up that financing. So not all the SME need market. Some of them have their own market. Some of them we can channel the market to the e-commerce. It's also additional, integrate ecosystem and to make them stickier to our platform.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha. Thank you, Ayu. Anyone else from the judges that has any questions? We still have slots for that. All good? Okay. Thank you so much, Ayu.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the judges.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ayu. And next on, we have Nalagenetics, helping providers unlock the power of personalized care. We have Levi here. Levi, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Levi from Nalagenetics. Really excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to the questions later. Hi, my name is Levi, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nalagenetics, and we are here to help providers unlock the power of personalized care. Personalization of care is important because $80 billion globally is wasted on trial and error of prescriptions. In Southeast Asia, the number is about $1.5 billion. However, up to 70% of adverse drug reactions have high genetic associations, which means that genetic testing can help with drug response. Genetic testing currently in developing markets are not that impactful because there's a severe lack of support for the physicians who are supposed to prescribe them, and also lack of evidence of the biomarkers that we are testing in the local population, because most of the genetic discoveries are actually based on Caucasian populations in developed markets. So imagine a solution where a doctor has an end-to-end solution and support for personalized care that gives not only genetic information, but also helps them contribute to validate biomarkers by gathering real-world evidence data with their patients. And what does that solution look like? Well, Ina can tell you all about it. Ina's doctor helped her choose the right medication to stay off cancer with Nalagenetics. Ina has just completed her breast cancer chemotherapy and is about to be prescribed tamoxifen. Thankfully, her doctor checks for drug-gene interaction first and found out that she qualifies for CYP2D6 testing. So her doctor orders a collection kit to be sent to Ina's home, and Ina is guided by our team, Astrid, to collect her samples with a buccal swab. Ina gets a report back 3 to 5 days later, and her doctor decides to actually prescribe aromatase inhibitor instead of tamoxifen, which is the standard therapy, to reduce her chance of breast cancer recurrence. And because her personalized prescription is slightly different from her peers, Ina monitors her symptoms via mobile app to help her physicians track her progress, but most importantly, treat others like her. So this approach was developed with experts in 70+ years in genomic discovery and translation, and I'm very thankful to be working with my co-founders who I've met in Genome Institute of Singapore, Astrid, JJ, and Sandro, and also the advice of Alex, who's currently the faculty chair in UCI for pharmacy, and also Satish, who's a serial entrepreneur in biotech. We work a lot in upgrading our hospital partners' capabilities because we believe that it brings value to other health stakeholders in the healthcare system. So our end-to-end services for hospitals, there's no downside for them to join us because it's free for doctors, there are minimum requirements for infrastructure, and there's continuous expert support and knowledge. And moreover, they can also collaborate with us in research, which helps them to retain doctors in their system. And hopefully all these services actually translates to willingness to pay from the patients who get personalized therapy and convenient procedure and follow-up. And finally, with enough data, also with payers, because payers get revenue from stronger branding positions for private insurance and also reduce costs of unnecessary hospitalizations and extra care. Our solution of being able to upgrade a hospital system to practice personalized care with minimum requirements is really positioned to win developing markets, where other competitors like Tempus, Uscript, or Color, who run a centralized lab operation system in the US and clinical data management, don't have insight to. Some of our other competitors like 23andMe and Circle skip work with doctors completely and go straight to the patients. But we believe working with hospitals is actually very important to design, develop, and commercialize tests that are highly relevant and impactful. So we've developed preemptive pharmacogenomics programs with Raffles Medical and UC Irvine, and also risk prediction of chronic conditions with multiple healthcare systems in Singapore, pharmacogenomics panels with multiple healthcare systems in Indonesia as well, in psychiatry, leprosy, and also breast cancer, and also increasing the use for qPCR testing in COVID-19, not only for diagnosis, but also for screening with CISD and Atmajaya. Our B2B2C approach and working with this hospital systems in research and product development also bring us a lot more lifetime value because they're more engaged with us for the long term. We also have a diversified revenue stream because we can offer multiple assets for whatever genetic needs that a hospital system may have. We plan to break even in early 2023 with key milestones such as PGX core regulatory approval, which is our genetic test kit, as well as the risk prediction software launch, which happens sometime next year. And at the end of the day, Nalagenetics really believes that to scale, it needs to partner with the right partners to build capabilities and data for preventive health. We combine genetic data, clinical outcomes, and patient behavior, and therefore better clinical recommendations for them and insights for partners to therefore increase even more provider adoption. Thank you so much for listening. Hi, my name is...
Thank you, Levy, for that pre-recorded pitch. Again, judges, the floor is yours if you have any questions. Anyone want to start?
Yeah, can you, yeah, thank you for that. I'm kind of curious to know kind of what is the production cost and capabilities around your test kits?
Yeah, we have a lab in Singapore currently that designs, develops, and manufactures pilot test kits. So currently the cost, so we enjoy about like 30 to 60% margin depending on the partnerships that we have with the labs. But generally we have, the reason why we're able to basically deliver costs that is 3 to 5 times cheaper than the current market cost for genetic testing for what we do is because we do everything in-house. And so we've built capabilities where we are able to kind of take out off-the-shelf kind of reagents and raw materials and be able to kind of develop them all in-house. And being able to kind of choose the right biomarkers, the right material, and the combination of software to come together with it actually drives a lot of the cost benefit that we can give to our partners. And the key with like the cost is that it's so much more than just the reduction of it, because the cost is really what's driving the adoption in the market. The moment that you have a cost that is 3 to 5 times cheaper, the value proposition to the patients and physicians becomes so different. There doesn't need to be a large barrier of entry of $1,000 test for cancer, for example, to actually get personalized therapy. And so something like cardiovascular or heart failure patients now is open to genetic testing. People who are taking psychiatry medications now are open to genetic testing, because based on our user research, people who think of getting testing kind of think about the cost of the medication itself. And so the moment you actually reduce the cost of genetic testing, it opens up so much more adoption barriers and awareness to think that, hey, genetic testing, it doesn't have to be expensive. And that's why our first project was actually in leprosy, because we wanted to show people that, hey, in Papua, people are already getting personalized medicine. There's no reason why in Jakarta or any other cities in Southeast Asia, we can't do that too.
Mm. And is adoption driven primarily from the patient side, the doctor side, hospital procurement side? Like who are the sort of main drivers? Okay.
Yeah, as you know, in healthcare, so what we do is basically we always approach to the hospital systems first. We were primarily B2B2C company. But I think what's interesting with COVID is that, you know, personalization of medicine for hospitals have always been top of mind. They know it needs to happen. They just want to know how to make it work and how to actually give that right impact to the patient. So once a CMO or chief medical officer and the bid management kind of agrees, we get to speak to the doctors and specialists to get KOL acceptance from them. And then finally, on the other side of that, we need to build awareness from the patients themselves to kind of know that personalization of medicine is here and they can always ask their doctors about it. And after they're given personalization of medicine, they need to stick to it. That's the most important part. So that's why we built the mobile app as well, is because a lot of people who drink, for example, tamoxifen, one of our studies with MRCCC or the Siloam Hospital is that once they get a higher dose, they feel like the doctor is profiteering from them. But actually it isn't the case at all. They need to kind of own this decision. And that's why I think working with all stakeholders in the system kind of is important. But primarily, again, it's B2B2C. We always make all our patients actually go through doctors. And that's why the slide also says that, you know, we work with a lot with hospitals and doctors primarily to increase their capacity for personalization of care.
Thank you.
Right. Lesina, thank you so much for the presentation. I'm very interested on the prospect. Can you run through your typical go-to-market or growth strategy for acquiring these doctors, right? I would presume. And second one, what are the challenges that you see in terms of scaling this further?
Yeah, so there's primarily two different markets, and this is the same across Singapore, Indonesia, and all different healthcare systems. There's one specialist market, and then there's the GP market, or the preemptive or screening doctors. So the specialist markets are kind of like your key opinion leaders, and they want a very personalized approach. We design studies with them. So all you see, the logos that you see just now on the slides, all of them are really one doctor that championed a use case, designed a study with us, and lock us in for the next 3 years because they like working with us, they like publishing papers with us, and they want to use this test on their patients and tell their friends and become key opinion leaders on this field. On the other side, there's like the GP market. Now the GP market is really interesting because so far in the pandemic as well, a lot of people have been looking for webinars and building communities online. So we actually do a lot of social media for that, even to target the doctors and the patients that they serve. And we have WhatsApp groups and sort of learning communities that they can learn about genetics, not in a very formalized setting, but we have AMAs every Sunday and webinars every Sunday, you know, to make a community that personalization of care doesn't need to be a serious, complicated thing, but it's something that they can practice right away with the support of Nalagenetics.
Okay, thanks, Lesina. Just one last question, if I may, right? So basically, my mom just got a knee surgery, and she also had a genetics one, a testing before that, and obviously it was very, very expensive, as you mentioned. So I was wondering why the doctor did not recommend. I mean, like I was, you know, I would have used your service instead, right?
Oh, because we don't know them yet. You should definitely refer the doctor to us. So I'm more than happy to speak to them. but yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the current testing is being done either being sent abroad, and that's why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
they don't know that they can do it here. Yeah, so we're here to help them. And I think primarily when the test is being sent abroad, oftentimes they test things that are unnecessary for a specific use case. Being able to kind of work with the doctors directly, especially in the local markets, being able to tailor the genetic test panel so it's a lot more cost effective for the market has been something that we really enjoy doing with our key opinion leaders. So yeah, so let me know anytime how I can help.
Right, and in terms of traction, how many users?
Yeah, so far for COVID-19, it's been great because we have 9 hospital partners right now doing COVID-19 testing. But for pharmacogenomics, we have 18 clinics in Singapore and Indonesia, and then also 4 hospital chain partners across Southeast Asia. So yeah.
Got it. In terms of users, sorry, just one last one. I mean, like you mentioned about the mobile app, yeah.
Yeah, so the users are primarily being used for clinical studies right now, and we have about 150 patients on the tamoxifen study right now, and then for schizophrenia, about 20. And so it's still a small study, but we're scaling it up, especially for COVID-19 testing. What's really cool is that once patients actually get tested with COVID-19, we'll be able to track their behavior after they're positive using the mobile app, and we're trying to launch that sometime this quarter. And so once they get tested with Nalagenetics, they also will be able to provide us data that will generally help people to understand better who needs to get tested in the future and how severe it will be when people actually get tested positive.
Okay, I think we have slot for one more questions before we move on to the next startup. So if anyone has any last question to shoot. All good, judges?
Great,
okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Navi. Next on to our next startups, it's Siklus. Yanni, can you please open your camera and join us? Let me open your camera. Yeah. So Siklus reinventing the future of retail by delivering consumer products to door in reusable packaging. Yanni, please, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Yana. Really glad to be here, and excited to see what you think, and happy to answer any questions afterwards. You can play the pitch. Hi, my name is Yana, and I'm from Siklus, and we're an early-stage startup that aims to reinvent the way retail is done and create the next sustainable model of retail. Most Indonesians buy almost all their everyday needs in these tiny sachets that, you buy enough shampoo to wash your hair once, etc. And sachets suck. Sachets are often a lot more expensive. So here you see So Clean Replica that's actually 5 times more expensive than buying it in a larger pack. So typically it's a lot more expensive. A lot of the price comes from the packaging. It also leads to a lot of waste in 2 ways. One is there's always some residue stuck in the sachet. And also it's quite difficult to stretch dosage. You kind of have to use the whole sachet at once. Even though a lot of our customers, they say, they have short hair, for example, they don't need a full shampoo sachet. And 65% of oil in Indonesia is sold in, as refills. So why are consumer products not sold in refillable dispensers? One is trust. It's very easy to tamper with the product. 2, it's dosing. It's very difficult to dose, small portions of a very viscous product. And then finally, brands would have an issue with the brand recall and the hygiene. We reinvent the way retail is done. We have these mobile refill tricycles, which you can see here, Gerobaks, and also stationary dispensers in low-income neighborhoods. And customers can bring their own containers or purchase reusable containers that are designed to suit their needs. We're developing dispensing technology that is precise, fast, and safe, and overcomes issues of tampering and product loss. And customers are informed by WhatsApp groups and also an app that is about to be launched, where they can pre-order, pay, etc. And there's data from this app will also allow us to, give customer data analytics to brands as well as optimize operations. So value proposition to customers is that we're 10 to 50% cheaper, and customers can enjoy better containers. For FMCGs, it's really, giving them a sustainable model, but also a higher market share because 50% of our customers actually switch brands to buy from us. And finally, for the sellers, we're giving them more income. We've had very exciting pilot results, over 300 loyal customers per station. You have a net promoter score of 8.2, and we're now launching pilots with Nestle and P&G, and have a partnership with Tunai, the sister company of Indomart. We impact women in 3 ways. One is, our customers, they say, they save money, it's more convenient for them. For the partners, so our sellers, they say that they get more traffic and they can sell more. And finally, for business customers, these are like micro entrepreneurs, like let's say food wadong who buy oil and dishwashing liquid, or in this case, like a maid who can buy their products cheaper and ultimately be more productive. The market size for this is huge because these are everyday products and it's targeting really like the vast majority of Indonesians. But more importantly, it is ready to be disrupted. Brands are hungry for a new model. The cost to serve is very high. And there really hasn't been any innovation in general trade in decades. We can compete with the status quo, which is sachets and refills, because we offer low per unit costs, and also through our containers, customers can actually control their portion size. But we can also compete with other refill startups like CoinPack. They have this bottle swap model because we offer more flexibility and also the convenience of to-door delivery. And finally, there's other pilots like Saruba and Unilever, but this is really targeting high-income customers and it's typically also not cheaper. So we really try to bring this tech-driven model to the base of the pyramid. Our business model is a revenue sharing model, and the savings are created by cutting out the packaging cost entirely and making the distribution and marketing more efficient. And so in phase 1, we really want to focus on this push cart model. In phase 2, focusing on the stores, and then finally also starting to monetize the data solutions and advertising on one side of the global. Our team combines backgrounds in operations, FMCGs, and engineering, and we really believe that we can get this done. We raised a successful pre-seed round. We have 3 FMCG partnerships. Our tech is almost ready, and we're now refining our model to position ourselves to scale very soon. But we can't do this alone, so we would love to have you join this journey to create the next sustainable.
Okay, thank you so much, Jana, for that pre-recording pitch. Judges, again, if you have any questions, the floor is yours. Anyone? Yes, Sagar?
Good to hear, Jane. I think I've been following up with you for quite some time, and such refinement in the pitch is amazing in many sense. Can you actually walk us through a little bit more around your TAM, SAM, and SOM? That would be helpful, because you mentioned your serviceable market will be around $30 million US.
Yeah, could we move to that slide? Would it be possible to the market share slide? Sorry. Yeah. So the TAM is really looking at what products can you actually sell as refill, right? There's certain products, we're not going to sell baby products as refills. That is unlikely to ever happen. And just looking at what does a typical family consume, and also looking obviously at we use data from our own interviews, sort of this micro level, but also a top-down approach where we looked at on Statistica, etc. How many products, how much dishwashing liquid is consumed in Indonesia. And then here in the SAM, we're really focusing on low income urban Javas. We looked at tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, and looked more at, focusing on shampoo and home care. And then this is the SOM that we hope to achieve in the next 2 years. So by the end of the next 2 years, with 700 refill stations.
So it's with 700 refill stations that you can get in next 2 years. That's what you're.
That's what we hope to achieve and so we see this as sort of year 0, where we're really piloting, refining the model. you know, it's really a new model, so it's not, you know, you can just like copy and paste it from somewhere else. And so we see year one as next year.
Got it. And how many refill stations are right now functioning, or you are right now more in a pre-pilot, in a pilot stage?
Yeah, we're still in piloting stage. So we only have a few stations in Jakarta to test the model, and we hope that sort of in the next month or two, we'll really start going into this early growth phase. Yeah.
Got it. Can I ask last one question quickly? So you touched base something around your tech piece. So what is this tech that you are building? Is it for those people who are running these refill tricycle stations?
There are two, there's sort of two parts of the tech. One part of the tech that's the most important is the dispensing technology. Currently, we have manual dispensing, and that is highly problematic and not scalable because A, it is the easiest thing in the world to tamper with it, right? I can put 10% of water into your dishwashing liquid. There is no way you can see that, right? So the dispensing technology that we're building is, you know, it's fast, it's precise, but it can detect tampering, which will ultimately, you know, make brands trust us and also make customers trust us. And then we're also building an app here. You know, one part is the app that the seller has, which is to dispense, to check the hygiene. So for example, every 3 hours, you have to send a photo that you actually did clean the nozzle. And also, you know, we're actually integrating Mocha as a, you know, as point of sale into the app. And then there's also a customer facing app. Now for the customer, it's really to be able to pre-order. So to say, hey, you know, tomorrow you're coming, can you please bring me these and these products? And that will never be mandatory. So we know that our target customer, a lot of people, they have very little data, they have very little space on their phones. Some people don't even have phones. So, you know, you can always still access our service without the app. However, what we find is that the brands value this data so much because they currently have essentially zero data on that fine-grained level for the in the general trade. So even if we just get, you know, 20% of our customers to use this app, it will help our inventory management, but it will also massively, you know, help us acquire FMCG partners.
Yep, got it.
Okay, other judges, if you have any questions?
Yes, I have one. Jane, thank you very much for that presentation. Can I ask for the mobile fill stations, are they going to be operating on fixed routes and schedules, or you know, is it sort of on demand? You know, I'm trying to understand how users would interface with the stations.
Yeah, so now it's sort of a semi-fixed route. So what happens? So the app is about to launch, but so currently, you know, our registered customers, they get a WhatsApp message in the evening before, like, hey, you know, we're coming down your street tomorrow. Do you want to pre-order something? And this helps us ensure, because, you know, sometimes people, they might not sit outside, right? So it's hard to access them. But then we also have these fixed routes. So like on Mondays, about like 70% of the route is fixed. So they always go that route. Customers know and can rely that, you know, on Mondays they can buy these products. And then for, I would say like 30% of the route is a little bit, is sort of like up to the seller to decide where they want to go. And sometimes they might get, you know, pre-order from someone who's not on their route, like somebody who's like, oh, I really need these products now. I know you're usually coming on Thursday, but, you know, my basket size is high enough. Can you come and deliver to me?
And in terms of your growth strategy, are you targeting primarily urban areas where residents would already have access to convenience stores or mom and pop general stores, or are you also looking at, you know, more rural areas where, you know, access to FMCG products are a little bit more challenging?
Yeah, so I think first we'll be looking at, you know, I mean, we're now piloting Jakarta partially for, you know, strategic and also like COVID reasons. But we would then like to go more into like tier 2 like cities. And we're planning on piloting in rural areas as well. I think there would be like a gerobak that is attached to a motorbike, where, you know, they know, okay, on Mondays, we're coming to this village, we're getting you the products cheaper. And so far we have not piloted it, but the plan is to do that. And I think, these are everyday products, right? Everybody uses them. And I think the model can really work in rural regions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yana. Thank you, judges, for the questions. Thank you, Yana, for joining us. Next on, we have TransTrack, a fleet telematics startup to track, analyze, and improve transport operation. Gia, you want to introduce yourself and say a brief greetings to everyone?
Okay. Hello, judges. Hello, everyone. My name is Anggia from TransTrack.Id. My co-founder Aris Pujut and TransTrack.Id teams from Bandung, Jakarta, and Surabaya are also here in this event to give their support. Thank you. And please enjoy the pitch.
Hello, I'm Anggia from TransTrack.Id, a fleet telematics solution company. We track, analyze, and improve transport operation. Fleet telematics is a technology used to obtain essential information from a vehicle or fleet, gathered through GPS, sensors, and vehicle engine diagnostic transmitted through cellular network. For over 10 years experience in IT and GPS industry, we know for sure that the needs of many fleet owners in Indonesia are not well accommodated. So we built TransTrack.Id on April 15, 2019 to be the most trusted and reliable fleet telematics solution by providing excellent services. We focus on land transportation. The Indonesian logistic market is expected to reach $300.3 billion with 40 to 50% of share is the road freight market. The number of motor vehicle on road in Indonesia is 154 million units. 80 to 90% is untapped potential market of fleet telematics with only less than 10 top players in the market. COVID-19 has brought the wheels of the commercial vehicle industry to a screeching halt. TransTrack.Id as a productivity tool will be at the heart of their survival. We eliminate customer problems that directly impact revenue, profitability, and investment significant loss. We use several types of devices to provide data collection from fleet, driver, and asset, and can be integrated with phone, other vendor device, and other apps or systems at several leading companies in Indonesia such as Unilever, Ultrajaya, and Sinarmas. Our platform is able to recognize more than 1,000 types of GPS devices in the market. Just simply manage your fleet with smartphone or on desktop. TransTrack.Id is available on the App Store and Google Play. And our customer will get extra benefit, compensation up to 50 million IDR due to accidents of vehicle that has used our device. TransTrack.Id derives 3 sources of revenue: subscription fee, monthly charges per unit on a 12, 36, or 60 months term, then from hardware sales, and other revenue from apps development, customization, and consulting services. As of August 2020, we have 115 customers, with paid subscriber is 1,895 units, and monthly revenue around $18,000. Our total revenue is almost $180,000 with gross margin between 37 to 58%. Total value of contract is around $640,000 with total 2,212 units. TransTrack.Id is running by 17 remarkable people and was founded by me and my co-founder Aris Pujut. We have been trusted by 115 customers from various sectors and some leading companies in Indonesia. Here are our top 10 biggest customers. We support them on contract basis in 36 or 60 months term. We are collaborating with Future Ready, the insurance broker, to build a fleet telematics usage-based insurance. The premium will pay as you drive or how you drive. Besides targeting transaction volume and revenue, it will help women become safer driver, crash or collection detection, and helping them educate their children to be better drivers. We also have a vision to support the Indonesian government program by implementing event data recorder, so it can be reduced life loss due to road accident. And finally, we can build the ecosystem of digital logistics to track million units of vehicle and generate big data. Fleet management is a sector that is both male-dominated and traditionally slow to change. But the transportation sector is now undergoing substantial change with technology advancement. There is a sense of us all working together to pave the path. Diversity adds strength to any organization, so we need to take the right steps to ensure women are represented across all areas of the business. The biggest successes are never done alone. I, as a woman, find collaborating with people, both within the same company and with external partner, is the most enjoyable and has the greatest impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anggia, for pre-recording that pitch. Now we're on to the live Q&A sessions. Again, judges, if you have any questions for Anggia and TransTrack.
Yes, I'll start. Thank you so much for that presentation. Can I ask, and I might have missed it, can you talk a little bit about your hardware, like the features of the device, the manufacturer, the cost, how it's integrated into the vehicles?
Okay, can you, Helena, please move to the side of the device? Okay. Yes, okay. So this is a type of our device. So it can track the location and then monitor when you open the door and the temperature as well, and fuel and RPM. And we usually using the vendor from China and Lithuania. So we partner with 3 vendors actually right now. And we install all those devices into the, usually the dashboard of the vehicle.
So you're using third-party devices, or is this based on any particular proprietary technology?
We use third-party for the device because we focus on the platform, on the software. So that's why our competitive other than player in the market is we're not focused on selling the device. If our customer already have a device from their previous vendor, but they want to use our platform or software, so just integrate their device into our platform and they can get a cheaper prices actually to subscribe the system. Because our platform can recognize over than 10,000 types of device in the market.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to ask a little bit more around what are some of the outcomes that you're seeing your clients achieve? You know, do you get feedback saying that they're able to optimize their routes a bit better, or they're able to, you know, shorten delivery periods? What are the kind of really kind of key takeaways that you're finding that people, now that they're using your devices and your software, they're able to kind of have this kind of materialized improvement in the business?
Yes, okay. Helena, please show the slide of the COVID-19. Okay, before. Okay, this one. Okay, so basically, we use this research as our benchmark. So we ask and give the questionnaire to our customer how we can help and support their company to get optimize and the maximize fleet better. So usually when using our platform, it will increase productivity and then reduce the overtime, fuel expensive, and then the total miles, and it can cost 20 to 30 minutes of labor savings and increase in vehicle utilization and reduction in vehicle idle time. So usually our customer will optimize and maximize their fleet better around 15 to 30%.
Okay, and if you were to capture these outcomes from a dollar perspective, have you trialed that with any of your clients to say, after being able to kind of uses devices and software on a portion of fleet over, either a month or a longer period of time, that they're able to save, a certain amount from a cost perspective. And how does that then compare to your subscription fees and what you're charging for your software?
Okay, so we just have the calculate about 15 to 13%, they can reduce the cost. So, but our biggest client is usually the transportation, the bus company, and then the transporter for F&B goods. And they can really optimize their productivity because they can save the idle time of the vehicles, and they can maximize the tracking the route, where is the best route they can take. So it can optimize and minimize the fuel cost and the driver cost as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anggia. Thank you, judges. Thank you so much. So we'll move on with the next page. It's Waterhub, a tech-enabled water refill station for users in public areas. We have Leon here. Leon, you want to say hi and brief greetings to everyone?
Hey everyone, nice to meet you all. It's an honor to be here. My name is Leon and I'm from Waterhub. Without further ado, here is the pitch. Hey everyone. First of all, can we all agree that Indonesia has a really rich cultural and natural heritage? Do you know that Indonesia's breathtaking coral reef triangle is recognized as the global center for marine biodiversity? And another one of my favorites, the Borobudur Temple. Here it is, the largest Buddhist temple in the world. It's magnificent and majestic, but unfortunately, its expanse is sadly equivalent to the amount of plastic waste Indonesia produces just every 2 days. Our dump sites are overloaded, and imagine this, piles of plastic waste keeps coming in. We are unable to cope. So we are now the second largest contributor of plastic waste in the world. And remember the coral triangle that I mentioned? It's not doing good either. And because this plastic don't degrade, it just breaks into tiny pieces called microplastics, which will forever be in our ecosystem. And let me show you another thing. If you look closely, these pictures here have something in common. Yeah, plastic bottles. And it makes sense, right? Because water is a necessity that we consume daily and will always need to survive. In a country like ours where tap water is not potable, we buy water in plastic containers, and this market is actually growing 11% each year. And what's crazy is because due to this loop, now tap water all over the world gets contaminated with microplastics. So here's a crazy idea. Why don't we close the tap? Because at Waterhub, we focus in serving the drinking needs of people outside their homes, where mostly of buying of water in small bottled water happens. So we are targeting public places where people go regularly, and we build our own hardware, rent the space, and process water directly from municipal water lines using an advanced filtration system that filters even the tiniest bits of microplastics. This allows us to cut the really long and complicated supply chain of bottled water, and it means we're also cutting down on oil consumption and carbon dioxide emissions while doing it. So with this effective and efficient approach, we can provide water 6 times cheaper and much faster than competitors, which, by the way, most of us don't realize if we are paying more for drinking water than fuel. So imagine this, buying a water quota package just like you would buy for a prepaid internet for mobile devices. One app and you can get access to cold or normal water anywhere on the go. And you can track water intake and even connect it with your fitness app. You could also send water quotas to your friends as birthday gifts or during Ramadan season for big fasting. So aside from helping individuals save expenses, companies can actually be more efficient too by buying group packages. And since we're app-based, users can be targeted via online and offline advertisements. This data of user traction can further enable us to segment customers based on profile, geolocation, and even routines. And I want to share with you our strength, which I see is the combination of hardware and software tech. We do our own maintenance and operations to keep everything standardized, With real-time monitoring system and embedded machine learning features for future use in our dashboard, we are able to operate in a lean manner and proactively. We are also customer obsessed. We have done so far blind tests of 3 different waters, and the result, people liked our water the best. Over a 6 months period, we also had made significant specification upgrades to our hardware and app, making it easy and also practical for our users to use as much as possible. We had 40% acquisitions of customers in just 2 weeks at our last occasion. We also saw 5% growth weekly. So through our solution, plastic waste can actually be cut to half. So why don't we replicate this across the whole nation? We are targeting to penetrate our early go-to-market and acquire 100,000 users, tracking impact and also collabing with government for the environmental efforts. We want to open partnership with brands and local apps and communities. So here we are. I want to wrap up. Why am I here? I finished my aerospace engineering when I was 18 and was actually about to go to Russia for my master's in rocket engineering. During that period, I was exposed to, a serial problem of environmental pollution, and it dawned me as an engineer that I can be a part of a solution to address this problem. So I decided to postpone my master's and started Waterhub. Waterhub is now a family of passionate doers who dream the same. We believe that creating a sustainable business is what our planet needs. And so we present you the new world of drinking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liam, for that pre-recorded pitch. Now, judges, please, the floor is yours if you have any questions.
Fantastic presentation. I love activists coming into capitalism and trying to solve problems. That's how I started my journey as well. Quickly, I want to ask you one thing around your subscription price, and also around what's the customer behavior change. Because if people are used to drinking from plastic water bottles when it is sealed, how are you going to change that customer behavior? That's a huge problem, because I can just tell you from India, we don't buy these containers. Most of the people use RO, reverse osmosis filters at home. For some reasons, it has not been existing in Indonesia at all. And what I've heard and was trying to understand was more around the customer behavior problem.
Yeah, so Indonesians mostly are price sensitive. They typically want something in a cheaper price, but having this good quality from the product itself. So from our customers, there are actually different segments that we also have different approach to. There are customers who have daily income. And so in our subscriptions, we actually have 3 different packages. The 25,000 is actually the largest package with 45 liters. There are also smaller packages in 4 liters and then 1 liter, which is in a smaller sense of price. So then the people who are actually having a daily income, they can actually choose the smaller packages because it's more convenient for them rather than buying the monthly, the package. But for people who are actually having monthly wages and all that, they would prefer subscribing to the larger package because it would make more sense to them, and it would be, much more efficient to choose rather than smaller package.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sagar. Tanisha, you want to shoot your questions?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Leon. I'm wondering what the relationship is between the kind of prevalence of machines and having access to the refills against sort of your pricing and the fact that it is under that subscription model. So I certainly do understand the price sensitivity in Indonesia, and it's always great to kind of be able to have a range of options so that you can best fit to the many segments of consumers. But I do wonder kind of what the appeal may be for kind of a subscription and a sort of an ongoing commitment to kind of be paying for access to water, and what you may see an inflection point. So you do need to have machines in every major mall or on every floor of every major mall before you're able to kind of get a meaningful volume of people that are willing to kind of download and engage, or what is it that you're seeing instead? Is it sufficient just to have a single machine in the major apartment buildings, and that is enough. So what have you sort of started to see so far?
Okay, Adirani, is it possible for you to go to the market slide, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, here. Okay, thank you. So in Waterhub, we actually focuses in places that people go regularly and routinely. So we actually divide this into two segments, where one segment would be people who are coming there regularly, and they're kind of like not random. One of them are schools, universities, and even wholesale markets, where the what is it called? The employees of the tenants over there are actually coming there routinely, perhaps 7 days per week, and staying there for a longer time each day. We actually want to penetrate and focus there first, and then ongoing, we will continue our journey to the more random segments, which is probably the public transportation itself could be considered random, but not random as well, because there are people who uses and commutes daily, right? But then like mini markets and gas stations and all that would kind of have random segments coming in. So that would be like our second stage of market penetration.
Okay, and in terms of the deployment of machines, are you covering the cost of that machine, and how does it play into being able to rent space and to deploy?
Okay, Rani, could you please go to the next slide? I think it will be the next slide. Yes. Okay, so in our ecosystem, a Waterhub actually deploys our machines ourselves. So basically, we do our own hardwares, and then we rent the space. And there the customers will just subscribe to our machines. We do our own we do our own maintenance, because we want to standardize the quality of water, because that's kind of like the gap that we see in Indonesia itself. I mean, in Jakarta particularly, there are actually refill stations already deployed, but then the maintenance aspects are actually being done by the local place owners, which by then doesn't really standardize the machines, and the trust of the customers itself is not built. So then later on, the problem is, the machine itself is not solving any problem, because no one is actually using, and that's the gap that we want to solve. And for us, it would be monitoring and maintaining everything ourselves, and that's kind of why we want to make it automatic, and so we could have a leaner team and having a good growth.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so my final question on this as well is, what sort of time period are you able to generate, or do you forecast that you can generate enough revenue to cover those initial costs of the machine itself and cover your ongoing rental costs?
Yes, so based on our previous tractions, we actually have a capex of our machine, but then our gross margin is actually about 60% to 70%, because we don't really have like a large operations going on, right? We just need to pay for the water and for the electricity, as well as the internet connection itself per machine. And
oh, sorry. So how many months can you build up that gross margin to then cover that total capex?
Excuse me, I didn't quite.
Yeah, sure. So for how many months are you able to save up that gross margin, and at what point in time will that cover that initial capex that you paid?
Okay, so since one machine can actually serve 1,000 liters per day, if we focus in just a machine, the ROI would just be in around 4 to 5 months, considering there are 600 people and subscribing to our machine.
Okay. Awesome, thank you.
600 people subscribe for 4 to 5 months will cover the cost.
Yes.
Got it.
And that's subscribing to the, what is it, the largest package?
25K one.
25,000, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Leon. Thank you so much, judges.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you. Now we're on to our last, but of course not least, startup. It's our 10th finalist of the day. It's WePlus, Smart Insurance Marketplace. I would like to invite Phoebe. The representative of WePlus. Do we have her here? me ping her.
Hello, my name is Fifi.
Hi, Fifi. Yeah.
Yeah,
First,
hope
please.
you can remember. You can hear me well.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm the founder of WePlus. Our aim actually to create the best access for insurance for all Indonesian. Thank you. Hello, my name is Fifi. I'm the founder of a WePlus Smart Insurance Marketplace from Indonesia. Let me share you a bit about WePlus. WePlus is Smart Insurance Marketplace. It's founded in 2018. Our main target actually is micro insurance and emerging customers, which actually is in Indonesia. Indonesia itself is among the country who the insurance penetration among the lowest in the world, which only actually is less than 3% from the annual GDP, while the world average actually is 6%. And also we believe insurance is helping people to go to the next stage of the better economic life. Therefore, actually we aim to give the best access and the transparent cost to provide the best insurance products. A few fact checks. In insurance market in Indonesia is a more than 18 billion US market and still growing. The second actually is we offer the better and affordable micro and emerging insurance products, working strategically with the various partners of the insurance itself. And also, last but not least, is a connecting largest access for the payment and claim nationwide. How to increase the penetration, which is still very low, is below 3%. There's no other way other than the digital for the micro insurance product. However, considering in Indonesia, even though every day that 175 million people connected to the internet, only below 4% have the full digital financial access. Therefore, actually, we really need to connect between online and offline, so people actually can take a claim easily, especially for those in the micro segment. So we providing actually is from the car insurance, bike insurance, health insurance, we have actually some more than 15 categories, and our products starting from 50 cents Singapore dollar, which is actually only 5,000 rupiah, which give you protection for a month. That actually is the highest will be a car insurance or health insurance, which costs around 650 Singapore dollar per year. So our business model is simple. One actually is for the B2C is we focus on the micro and emerging customers. We are not simplifying only for the purchase, but we also simplifying the claim process. Why? People in the segment of the micro and emerging customers need the claim to be processed much faster than us, because actually they don't have the privilege to go and waiting actually the process for so long. The second also we developing for the B2B, for the insurance platform management to manage better expectation on the claim ratio, and the people actually can see their usage and actually can upgrade it, the offer actually to the various insurance access. Yeah. So our platform can be found in the apps, in the IoT. This actually can be found in the convenience store and also medicals, a B2B platform, and also for the small, medium enterprise. And what really make us different? We're redefining the easy that you can pay digitally and also you can pay through the various payment rails. But not only that, you can cash out starting in the more than 14,000 retailers all over Indonesia. And just a bit about Indonesia, from claim to cash out, that actually for the micro insurance, this can be accessed, can be cash out less than 1 hour nationwide. Less than 1 hour. If you see the Indonesia, that actually is a archipelago island, then making the cash out, the claim faster as much as possible. This actually is something is very challenging. But with this system, actually claim to cash out actually can be exercised less than 1 hour nationwide. Again, this is our dream. So those actually for the farmers, fishermen, education, and the others actually you can claim as easy when you purchase, yeah. And then you can find this actually everywhere. We are partnering more than 20 insurance company, all international and also domestic. We also partnering with the various telecommunication retailers in Indonesia and the health and also a financial institution. And this is actually when we launched the 2.0 system last year. And this is the leadership team. And despite the COVID, 2019, we still be able growing. Actually, for the first half, actually we grow from the 40K in the to 1.2 million in the first half 2020, which overall estimated growth still actually is above 50% despite COVID-19 lockdown in first half. And this is some of our new product. This is development. You can buy the car insurance only for a month. You can buy actually the home protection only for in a flooding month, which actually on like only Q1, and also is a life protection and the others. Yeah, that's about us. Welcome any question. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vivi, for that pre-recorded pitch. Judges, we're on to our last Q&A session for the day. So please, anyone, if you have any questions, the floor is yours.
Yes, I have a question. Fifi, thank you very much for that presentation. In a lot of markets where penetration of insurance is quite low, to some extent it's about access, but to a great extent, it's about education and consumer understanding of the value proposition behind insurance, how it works, why they need it. To what extent is that a major obstacle to adoption in the Indonesian market? And what is WePlus doing to educate consumers on the value of insurance, if that's the case?
Yes, thank you, Paul. I think you're spot on. It's first maybe it's before I answer on the major obstacles. One of the good thing actually about the BPJS in Indonesia is already reaching actually is around 220 million Indonesian, but it's just covered the basic. Therefore, I think it's the introduction of the insurance itself to the market actually is add-on to the current introduction of the social insurance called the BPJS. That's the first one. That's why what I personally also believe this will be the wave of the InsurTech itself, because most majority Indonesian already know what the insurance is, even though actually as the basic introduction. That's the first one. The second actually is the understanding that what we really believe on the WePlus, that people should buy the insurance when actually someone go to the higher level of the economic status. So it's not afterwards, because here I think is our dream actually is creating this. You can get the access for the claim, for the purchase, and to communicate with the insurance directly. So for example, when we built this for the micro, there are actually for the farmers and the fishermen, when you do like a crop failure, for example, when you claim for the crop failure and you supposedly actually get 600 Singapore dollar, at the end actually it goes to your hand becoming actually 400 Singapore dollar, because another 200 actually go for the various various costs that you have to pay along the way when you do the claim. So now actually what we really do, we try actually to connect with the some community, giving them also the education of the micro insurance, giving them also the best access, and also actually I think the most important is partnering with the retailers as well. So if you look actually is one of our partners. Sometimes actually we do the online education and also the offline education before COVID to introduce the various of the micro insurances. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Fifi. Quick question from me. So from what I see right now, I think a lot of the insurance premiums are being sold basically by a high touch way. So a lot of agents come in and kind of like convince you. Yeah. So just want to understand on how your business model works in terms of how do you partner with insurance agents? And if yes, why would it be much more profitable for them or useful for them to become an agent in WePlus versus just directly to the principal?
Okay, thank you, Windy. For us, actually, we don't use the agent models, and we also don't use the telemarketing models. So everything actually is a digital system. So we are not actually selling leads, because actually we protect the privacy data as well. I think maybe it's the interesting thing that we do here, that once you purchase that up to actually is the policy actually issued, not all the insurance actually is API connected. Means actually there's a lagging when you purchase, and after that actually you really receive the e-policy. So we actually also creating the bridging like the cover letter. So if you purchase, well, nobody actually is following you up, but you already have the guarantee like the cover letter before actually the e-policy is also coming. That's also to bridge for those who didn't have the API. And then also for the business models itself, actually is we have two basically. Is a retail, is a B2C, and a B2B2C. So we cater the corporate as well to get actually the individual user who download WePlus and using us actually as the ecosystem as well.
Okay, got it. And can you talk more about maybe the products that you're selling? Because if I look at the insurance, right, one of the also the use of having agents is basically to, you know, go and take care of your administration for you. And I think, in fact, you know, during claim, I actually haven't had a successful claim without my agent kind of like going there and that. Yeah. So how do you do it? How do you tackle that kind of problem if it's all fully digital?
Okay, thanks a lot. Maybe just a bit actually is how we start the WePlus as well, because I also experience for us actually is who having the benefit. Let's say actually if we subscribe the health insurance, that we pay like $200 US per month. Let's say it's a 3 million rupiah per month. That actually if whenever we have something, we just need to call the agent. I think that actually is very easy. The question actually is how to crack the people at the bottom when actually is the insurance that you sold actually is only 100,000 per year. So the commission got actually from the agent like 30,000 rupiah, which is 3 Singapore dollar. It doesn't make sense for them actually is, to cater all the claim. So this is the market that we want to target there, because so we are not fighting the agent, but we actually we want to enlarging the pie, because actually Indonesia is among the lowest penetration in the insurance compared to the GDP, and only also actually for the individual, only 6.5% who really have the individual insurance. So we are not talking about the market for those who really have 3 million and you are served by agent, but we really want actually people who just previously served by BPJS, but after this actually you can get privilege, then you get the hospital cash plan. Let's say it's only 100,000 per month or 100,000 per year. In fact, actually we also selling like only 5,000 rupiah for a month. That give you protection if something happened to you because of the personal accident. It gives the protection of the 10 million. Even actually for the critical illness, we also selling starting actually from 8,500 rupiah. So this is something 8,500 rupiah for a year that actually can cover the critical illness to give actually the allowance up to 10 million. So this is something that we, I think is the mission actually to enlarging the pie, educating the market, and also to reduce the financial fat. Because in here, definitely you cannot get like a 50% commission or something. So we just take actually is between 10 to 25, depend on the product. And also for the micro insurance, it's not only for health. We also selling the various for the motorcycle insurance. And even I think it's for the sachet, I think it's previously somebody said that Indonesia likes sachet. We also selling the sachet insurance. Means like you can buy the home content protection. Let's say for the flat, just only for the flat month. Only by 15,000 rupiah, it give you actually the whole house protection up to 10 million rupiah. And also you can buy the full coverage car insurance only during Hari Raya when you actually go to the village or actually by end of the year. So things like that actually is what we considering actually as the micro insurance and the emerging customer as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, judges, for all the questions. I think, yeah, we finished all the back-to-back startup pitches for the day. Thank you so much, Phoebe. So everyone, again, we thank all the startup who has pitched today and the judges who's been with us since the beginning. And now we would like to move on to the judges' deliberation. And meanwhile, the judges are deliberating. We'll move on to our next agenda here in the Zoom. And judges, I would like to ask you to turn off your camera and mute yourself and move to the other room for the deliberation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now on to our next agenda. So we're so excited today to be joined by our women trailblazers here, our Tech Indonesia ambassadors, and also our co-founder, Tech. We are excited to hear on the discussion on the role of Indonesian women in tech and roles women plays in the economy as a whole. So please join me in welcoming Svida Alishapana, CEO of GCM Group, to the floor. Bu Svida, can you please open your video? Hi. And also we have Dayu Dara Permada, CEO, founder of Pinhome. Thank you. And Virginia, our co-founder of Tech and also founding partner of Teja Ventures, will be moderating the discussion. So Virginia, passing on to you to moderate our fireside chat. Thank you.
Sure. Hi everybody. Welcome to our two lovely ladies. We're honored to have these two women leaders in the technology as well as the she economy space to join us here today for the She Loves Tech finals. What I would like perhaps is to first invite both of them to introduce themselves and a little bit more about their careers. And then, we can go straight into the questions. So Svida, why don't you start to introduce yourself first?
Hi, Virginia. It's my honor to be here with you. I don't really feel that I am like a person strong in tech. In fact, I came from print media, but we have been evolving into digital media. And where I come from, I graduated from math and then taking business and then in finance in financial company, and then leading Femina Group. And now in my startup, GCM Group, or the Global Creative Media, where I'm leading Dewi magazine and then Jakarta Fashion Week. And one that my startup that is very much linking to us here is Wanita.network. And Wanita.network is networking all women all around Indonesia to unite, to be together, sharing content, sharing stories together. So that's about me. Thank you.
On to?
Yes. Hello, Virginia. Thanks for having me here. Hey, everyone. Hello, Ibu Svida. I'm a big fan. My name is Daidara Permata. I'm CEO, founder of Pinhome. Pinhome is a seed stage prop tech startup based out of here in Indonesia, Jakarta. And yeah, such an honor to be here. A bit about me. I've been an entrepreneur, full-fledged entrepreneur, just for a year. Before that, I was an entrepreneur working from inside a company at Gojek, right? I was at Gojek for about five years, working as a senior vice president for the lifestyle and commerce product group, within which we have products like Gomart, on-demand grocery delivery, Go Shop on-demand concierge service, and then Go Live, the lifestyle and home services vertical. So it was Gojek was my entrepreneurship academy, and 5 years there I was ready to graduate. And then before Gojek, I was at McKinsey management consulting firm as a senior business analyst for about 4 years, and I started my career in telco company. That's where I learned about the foundation or the fundamentals of technology, data, right? When I joined the telco company, I was a corporate strategy and business transformation specialist at Axiata. Indonesia was just embarking on the 3G journey, transitioning from 2G, and in 2G it was all voice and SMS, right? And all of a sudden, in almost a blink of an eye, we embark in this mobile first and almost fully digital world. And fast forward in 8, 9 years. We're now almost in 5G. Graduated from industrial engineering, minor in business from ITB. Glad to be here.
Thank you. And so let me go on to my first question. So I founded Teja Ventures because of my belief in technology and the she economy. And here I am talking to two women leaders who completely, I know, understand what technology and for the she economy is. So one is, women's network, social networks, digital media, and you have actually been building lifestyle products, the entire lifestyle arm essentially of Gojek. So you completely understand, I think, the value of the women consumer. I think first of all, I wanted to ask you, how do you see the current development in Indonesia in terms of women's involvement in the technology and startup industry? And both of you have played huge roles in building these businesses. What is the value that women can bring in terms of spurring innovation in this industry?
Sure, be happy to answer that. So I think in Indonesia, women and technology are on the rise. We have not yet achieved the full equality and balance in gender, but the trends are heading towards it. So let's start with the top of funnel, which is education. There's I think 3 to 5% more every year women pursuing the STEM majors, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, right? And then that's very good. Although now I guess the stat is somewhere at 35% of women versus 65% of men, but the trajectory is positive. And then there's awareness, right? Still only 24% women are reading the digital news, and only 26% of women are on the news, making driving innovations, making changes big and small. And then there's still only 20% of that women pursue career in STEM. And of those who pursue career in STEM, less than 12% are pursuing entrepreneurship in STEM as founders or co-founders of technology startup. That said, I'm very hopeful it will get better over time, looking at the support from government, from communities, from the commercial and business world, pieces like Teja Ventures, of course. And I think we now more and more aware of what's the problem causing the imbalance or lack of equality, and that's because it's a lack of interest and conscious choices from women to pursue career in STEM and to contribute in technology, and that's because of less of female role model promoting the field, and hence less seemingly available choices because you cannot be what you cannot see, right? And hence less future young girls are interested in pursuing this particular sector because they don't know if they'll make it. They don't see how it can be done. So I think that the interest is there, the trend is positive, but we need to keep pushing. We need to systematically, and it will take concerted effort from all front, from women's closest circles, like start from the family, spouses, companies, of course, government, academias, and the entire society to really change it.
Amazing. Sveta?
Yeah, maybe I shall start it within my observation from 2008 to now, where in 2008, when we started building the Women Entrepreneurship Program in Femina, there were hardly any women using tech as their enabler or even a tech company. And then 2010, we start seeing women have a small business selling services for creating websites and things like that. Fast forward to the 2017, it was just becoming the norm that the startup companies by women, they use technology as their business enabler, meaning that they use the marketplace, they have their website. Some are in the technology itself, providing engineering, software, game company, etc. So it is promising. And also, we have seen women on the board of unicorns or close to it. I mean, name it. I mean, Dara was in one of the unicorns. Catherine Hindra, Nanang, Nabila Alsagoff. And so we are really seeing women, not necessarily in the STEM, but with their experiences in the management, in the financial division, and they are becoming the women founders too. Dayuk from the unicorn, as I mentioned, now she runs her own company. A few fashion houses like Hijab really start from digital and stay digital for the marketing, distribution, and also Cotton Ink, for example, those in the fashions. Tech is a great enabler, and we are seeing the adaptation by the women to fasten, and it is fastened or accelerated during this pandemic, both from the user side and also provider of the business side. So I'm really, I think looking at this picture, women and technology, the adaptation is promising. I would not say it is on an equal footing, but we're getting there.
Thank you, Sveta. Actually, one of the things which has really struck me about working in Indonesia is actually that as a technology ecosystem, while obviously I definitely think male founders still get more funding.
Yes.
However, I've actually been very, very pleasantly surprised and also very, very encouraged by the fact that the technology ecosystem in Indonesia actually seems pretty open. The fact that I personally know 3 SVPs from Gojek who are women, is actually something very, very deeply encouraging. And, increasing numbers of female founders, that I meet, as well as, technology executives. I mean, just on in today's pitch itself, you saw, people with PhDs from MIT, etc. It's so I definitely feel, Southeast Asia actually, recently we had She Loves Tech in Vietnam, She Loves Tech in Thailand, She Loves Tech in Singapore. And I definitely feel like the technology ecosystem here in this part of the, burgeoning part of the world is actually more open than in some of more developed parts, So I think that's something I find very encouraging in Indonesia. And I know quite a few, well-known venture capitalists either set up their own funds or are heading the Indonesia operations of their regional funds in Indonesia. So that's great. I want to talk a little bit more about the she economy because, obviously Teja's entire investment thesis is about the untapped opportunity of the she economy, and the majority of our portfolio companies are actually in Indonesia, which is something that we, a country that we really, really believe in. Do you think female consumers are underserved in Indonesia?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead,
Okay. Well, Indonesia is a market dominated by women in the economy, but it is the SMEs. The majorities of the SMEs, really, really small, are women. But as you mentioned here, that then when it comes to escalation to the next level, they dropped. And really, well, thank you for your initiatives and to focus on the specifically gender lens of women, to support them, because it is that women for the small medium enterprises is the key driver. And especially in this era of pandemic, they are the one that is more agile and opportunistic. Taking this chance and bring it and scaling up, that's the issues. Because then in reality, they would be constrained by the traditional reasons, family, the society, and sometimes even the inner call of the woman herself that is asking, questioning of advancing and leading this business. And your question is the women, is the key drivers, is it driving the economy going back? Yes, it is. And we really need to empower them to make it really real. In reality, we do have equal access to market as male. The support is not there. Male supports are more available. women have other challenges. And this, as a result, may stop the women to advance. And one other things, but this is more of an observation, just generals for women. But talking about the mass, the really the base of the small economy, they are more too much consumed on the social media, and sometimes that could mislead them, or not empowering them. That's what I meant. And here is where us as women who have advanced and have lucky and the opportunity to make it, and we shall move it. And thanks for your also going back to your Teja Ventures. I mean, Dayudara also with her initiatives, startup, and I'm sure that she is mentoring to many. This kind of thing would help the ecosystem.
Thank you, Sveta. Dayu?
Yeah, thank you, Sveta. I couldn't agree more. So definitely women's roles in driving the economy forward are significant. I was just looking at the report in 2009 from Harvard Business Review saying that the female demographic actually represent around 20 trillion in consumer spending every year, and that accounts for around 60% of all global spending. And if you just fast forward 10 years from now, I'm not surprised if that value becomes closer to 25 trillion dollar, 27 trillion dollar. And then so then when women spend, where do they spend their money on? And this is another very, I would say, inspiring and empowering insights, that when women work, they spend 90% of what they earn for family, for shelter, for education. Half of that goes to children education. So women really knows how to invest for the future, for something that's productive, something that's yielding. So that's really good trade of women. And if you look at, so that's on consumption side. What about on producer side, provider side? So I take a look at the just tech companies with women on management, and we studied this back when I was in Gojek, and that's why also in Gojek they were deliberately pushing for more women representation, so that management teams with women well represented, they have 30% more higher return on investment. And then there's a lot of studies around this where the higher level of gender diversity would really were associated with increased sales, revenue, more customers, more profits, and the list goes on. And now at the family level, at the microeconomy level, if you look at women and how, if they're healthy, they're educated, right, and they're professional, how would that reflect to the future generation? Really, the healthy, educated, and professional women, they would give birth to healthy, intelligent children, and that's primarily hereditary, because intelligent forming genes are mostly located on the X chromosome, and for boys, all X chromosomes come from mothers. So we're not talking about just now the spending today, the production today, the business and the economy today. We're talking about also future generations. So I think given all that, really all parties, and not just from the business side, but government, family, it only makes sense for all of us to work together to empower women. So cannot be more appreciative of what Teja Venture is trying to do. And even the term she economy, I think that is a really valid term. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. And, I think your views are very valuable because, Sveta with Femina, and now Femina, and now with Wanita Network, and, you with Go Life, and now with Pin Home. I think, you guys have been building businesses, with technology and also offline, online and offline integration for the she economy. There were three very interesting things that you guys just said, and I'm just going to pick up on a couple of points because I think they're actually very interesting. So I think, I think, Sveta, what you said essentially, you said two things. You said that because a lot of, MSMEs, right, small businesses,
medium enterprise,
yeah, we're actually, actually run by women, and we see that a lot. We see that medium-sized war rooms are actually run by women, and then large size sort of stores actually start being run by men. We're starting to see the same thing. And so you said that, and then the second thing you said was this thing about social media potentially being harmful, right? And then I think what the other point that Dayu said, which I thought was really interesting, is that when you empower women, or women are, the data actually shows us that they invest 90% of their incomes into health, nutrition, education of their families. And so the reason why I'm bringing up these 3 points, and I want us to talk about it a little bit more, is because these 3 things are the exact thesis of Teja Ventures. It is the exact thesis. So the first thesis is that, what we're thinking about is what technology can actually empower this entire ecosystem. So we look a lot at digital supply chains for MSMEs, for example, because we know that, a woman would, a woman owner, she will need some of these tools, but she may not necessarily, scale this, to a huge level on her own. So the question is, what kind of technology can empower, can create cost savings or efficiencies? So I have a company like that in my portfolio called Click Daily. And then today, in this very same pitch competition, we had I think a company called Krealogi, which is actually doing that, digitizing a supply chain for for craft, which I found very, very interesting. And then, for example, if we go to what Dayu said about how when you empower women, actually, or when you go through them, they're actually conduits to their households and to society at large. We saw another company today, for example, called Siklus, and they're bottom of the pyramid, retail, refillable retail. But a lot of times women are the ones buying FMCG. If they decide to move to refillable FMCG, then we're going to be saving a lot of plastic as a whole. So and the same thing, which, for example, we had WePlus, right, for insurance, microinsurance. The data shows us that women are buying also insurance for themselves and their households. So I want to talk a little bit more about in Indonesia, because I'm seeing this all across Asia actually. What do you think we can do to maximize the potential of women's roles in technology and the economy as a whole, women as conduits? That's the first question I have for both of you. And then the second question I want to direct to Sveta, specifically on social media. What can we do to sort of what types of technology do you think we need to see, or what types of businesses do you think we need to see to empower women's roles in the economy as conduits for greater good?
Sure. I'd like to try answer the first question, right? What can we do so that we can empower more women in technology and in economy as a whole? And I think to answer that, we need to first understand the root cause, why women, why there are less women in economy and especially in technology. And I think it's a combination of lack of interest or lack of access, and maybe their conscious choices as well. Because to begin with, I think women in Indonesian, typical traditional Indonesian family, women always have to look up to their husband, their spouse, right? And when looking at or thinking about career, they look at left and right, and specifically when they're considering, let's say, a career in technology, they don't see enough of people like them. There's not enough female role models promoting the field. Seemingly, there's less available choices, and hence, I think for these women, right, they feel that they're less interested. Or maybe women have to just focus on relationship-based, or anything that's more into people, like HR, or like business development, or customer care. And there's a lot of this, I think, labeling and stereotyping, and that we falling trapped into. So I think there are a few things we have to do, and it starts from the closest to women, the most inner circle of women, and that's family, right? I'm just reflecting on my personal experience. My interest towards STEM really started in the early age. And because one of the values that my family instilled to all of their children, including myself, right? I'm the eldest of 3 siblings. I have 2 younger brothers, right? Is equality. That equality starts at home. Parents are inclined to raise girls and boys differently. My parents weren't. So they felt that if we go to for example, we go to the toy store. They didn't tell me to go to the soft toys aisle or look for like the kitchen toys. And for my brothers, for example, look for the Legos and robots and mechanical toys. They told us to just look for whatever you're interested in, and so that I grew up not falling into that stereotype, and I grew my the interest towards STEM very early. And since like I was at elementary school age, I knew that I wanted to be either engineer or a pilot or a doctor, right? So I think that's one spouse. One of the common reasons I think why females drop out of the workforce or avoid some sectors altogether, construction, property, or technology, telecommunication, or consulting, it's because of maybe the long hour risk, or the very competitive environment that's labeled to be as less female friendly. And then maybe because of unsupportive spouse. And so to all female friends out there, maybe don't let yourself be surprised. So discuss career choices or options early in your relationship. So as then you evolve or grow into long-term relationship and marriage, everything will always be aligned, and you feel that you're supported, not just personally, but also professionally. And then there's companies and government and society, right? And if companies, those of us who are leaders, right? Us who are leaders, understand and try to deliberately solve for the unconscious bias. Understand that there will always be this bias towards gender in recruitment, in promotion, in rotation, upward salary adjustment. And by acknowledging this unconscious bias and systematically trying to fight it and solving it, and that's the only way for us to make it go away. And one of the things to do is to make sure women are represented in all the key committees, hiring committees or promotion committees, right? Because otherwise, then women will never be represented in all of those decisions and policies, and it will never be well balanced towards gender. And then lastly, I think in government. Yes, of course, policies, right? Policies that are fair for both male and female. Let's say parental leaves. Recently, I was very empowered knowing that for, let's say, civil servants, they have parental leaves for both the male and female, and that's very good, because if parental leave is only for women, and then women are encouraged to stay home and look after the kids. And this is exactly why when many women drop out of the workforce. Yeah, I think those are the things, and it always starts from the inner, the closest to women and outward, right? Because if, let's say, all the society are all supportive, but then family and spouse are not supportive, it'll also be even more challenging.
Thank you, Dayu. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. And I mean, I'm very encouraged. When I come to Indonesia, I do meet a lot of very powerful women, women ministers, for example, and they are incredible. One of the things I learned in my early days of She Loves Tech, we've been running She Loves Tech in Indonesia for 3 years now, and I remember this 2018, I think, and I remember it was an edtech startup, and they were trying to do technology education. For technology education for people in general, for children, or for high schoolers. And they noticed that the minute they put the technology curriculum online, they actually noticed that a lot more women would actually join or actually take the curriculum, because, I was so blind about this, coming from Singapore. I was so blind because if you sent the child to a coding school, it's $200 a month. It's a physical coding school. If they take online curriculum, it was $15 a month. And what the founders actually told me was that if you put something online, it's much cheaper, the girl is more likely to be able to go, because a family would not think twice about spending a huge amount of money on a boy's education, but will think twice about a girl's education, because she's more likely to get married. And so they do not see that as a good economic investment. So just by putting the courses online, you actually allow more women to have access to that, because their families are willing to pay $15 a month. That was a revelation for me. And I was like, how come I never realized this before? With all the work I've done around women in Asia for the last 7 years, it literally didn't strike me. Dayu, you know, if you could say, you talked about the family, the importance of the family, and women having to do dual roles. If there were like 2 to 3 types of technology platforms that you think would help women the most balance work and life, or, you know, enhance their roles in the workplace, you know, or in society, what would that be? Just off the top of your head.
Oh, actually, work from home has been extremely helpful for women. I heard so many women friends who say that, you know what, because of this, I can manage my, you know, both home affairs and office affairs very well and balance. Instead of spending, you know, 1 to 2 hours on the road every day, I could spend the same amount of time for my kids and children. So that's definitely everything that is supporting the future of work. Work from home, so that people can work remotely, women can work remotely, so that they don't have to make that difficult choices between, okay, is it work or is it family? That's absolutely important for me. And along that line, there's so many things that we can explore, but that's I think it's an amazing start.
Thank you. We have a startup, Teja has a startup company called Shiros in India. Is India's largest social network for women. They have about 21 million users. And during COVID-19, you know, one of their business models is actually onboarding remote workers for companies. So they were onboarding thousands of women as remote workers, and their revenue was going crazy because all of a sudden, you know, that was a win-win situation, because a lot of times Indian women were expected to stay home after marriage. So I absolutely agree with you. Remote work, you know, future work is one of them. And we're seeing a lot more. I turn to Sveta now, because I think, Sveta, you made a really good statement on the whole point about social media. You know, you said social media can be good and social media can be bad. I mean, I try to be as positive as I can, as in from an investor's perspective, because, you know, I'm looking a lot at sort of influencer-led models, direct to consumer, retail, the future of retail, so to speak. And you know, one thing is, of course, you know, some of the online negativity which comes with that, but at the same time, I see lots and lots of basically new brands, but actually new types of distribution systems,
right,
based on social commerce and influencer-led commerce. And, you know, you're the guru, right, at digital networks and digital marketing. So maybe you can share with me some of your views, you know, after working in media for all this time and understanding, you know, the way women as a community work, because I really believe that, for example, Commerce 2.0 is going to be community driven and not just commerce driven. So Sveta, you know, please tell me your views on social media.
There is constant finding every year, year after year, even until now. When we ask women, what is it that they need most, they're hungry for, is knowledge. They are hungry for education, exposure, especially now in the fast changing technology. They really want to get to know and get the access, more and more learning, whether that's about marketing, whether that's about the financing, whether that's about managing the money, whether that's about developing the product, etc. But it is, the first is knowledge. They are hungry for it. And I'm talking about not the high schools, not the college. They are already in the career life, and they need to switch. Secondly, is having the right network. They feel they feel enclosed. They don't have the right network. They want to link up with the right network, or with the same, with people with the same aspirations. And third is the support. It's amazing how that we find they don't find the support from home. Imagine that a lot of these women are coming from the husband and the family, and the father is working for state-owned enterprises as just one of the bureaucrats. Could be low, could be in the middle, could be in the high, but they are not coming from enterprising family. Myself probably is lucky that I come from an enterprising family. And so we are used to talk about business. We are used to talk about opportunities and to develop it, but not for them. And they need the support that they can do it. It's only number 4 is about funding. So number 1, 2, and 3 is answered what you found in India, and also what drives me to create Wanita.network. I felt that these Indonesian women, I shall look at them as 20 to 55 to the encore career. 55 is not a retiring age. 55 is a new stage of life. With the lengthening of our age, I mean, 55 is actually still young. And so we need to have all this inspiration, aspirations for them, giving them the support, giving them knowledge, exposing them what are the opportunities. Like you said, also that the economy may not be, everyone cannot be just the founders, but then they can catch in the rural or in the area outside Jakarta, they can catch themselves as the business rep, as a representative business. And that's also a great economy. And that is what is driving some of the business in Jakarta, is that there is the e-commerce, and then there is the store, the semi-online stores. And so these kind of things moving. And I saw today, like the Duanyam back-end system, the Krealogi, I forgot the name, something with Krea. And that is great. You know what? One woman in Jogja driving 3,000 women in the rural. So one woman in Jogja would connect with her handphone to the 3,000 women, for the women in the rural to craft the basket. Now with the app by Krealogi, I can imagine that makes things even bigger, and the economy bigger, wider, and the standard of quality productions more accessible to the bottom in the rural. To your question, what can we do? Support, giving field of education, access to knowledge. Now we are in the digital, now they are stuck at home. It's time that for them to catch up. Wanita.network, unfortunately, we could not launch it in March because 4th of March was the day we wanted to launch it. 2nd of March was the President Jokowi announced the COVID in Indonesia. So we immediately canceled the event. But Wanita.network evolved as the webinar for parentings, for women entrepreneurs, for lifestyle, more like healthy lifestyle, etc. And those kind of things are sharing knowledge, giving the network, and also giving the support. We got the contact to them. And now instead of we hold a conference in a room, in a hotel room in Bali and only capture 100 people from the whole Bali, we capture 2,000 to 3,000 audience all around Indonesia. And that is beautiful. What can we do for women get the right media, get the right exposure so that they can move? Maybe then we ask back to ourselves, what is it that we feed? I hope that it is changing, and now that we are more touching the gadget, but we have more also choices to be more useful to ourselves. So hopefully then they can take initiatives to be empowered.
Thank you, Sveta. We know that, speaking about having the right network, we know, I mean, I know you as one of the best networked women, you know, here in Indonesia. You know, it was great to get to know you more and your vision for empowering more women. And I mean personally, like I do believe that social media, you know, it can be a very powerful tool, you know, for women, especially in an age, you know, part of our thesis is that in an age of the she economy, you know, social, you know, consumers are actually more likely to buy from their own social network. So each woman actually becomes, in many ways, an asset for any kind of brand. because women are more likely to buy from their social networks and social media than any kind of paid placement. So I do believe actually this digital age actually does favor women. Yes. And actually technology has allowed us to digitalize and monetize these behaviors. You know, you can make money from it sitting from your home and sending it to your friends than you could have ever done before, which solved a lot of the issues that women had before, which is that they were time poor, they were confined, you know, sometimes at home in certain countries. So overall, I mean, I'm bullish about it. So much, Svida and Dayu, for, you know, giving us your valuable time and insights. I have now heard from our judges panel that they have made a decision. Before I announce the winners, you know, perhaps I'm going to hand over to, you know, to back to the host, Rani, you know, to do the proceedings. Rani, please.
Thank you so much, Virginia. Thank you so much, Busvida, Lishabana. Thank you so much, Dara, for that very insightful panel on women's role in tech and also what roles women can play in the overall economy. We're so excited after a really tough judges deliberation. We have the results in. But before we announce the results, we would like to ask the panelists, the startups, the judges to open their camera and join us on the floor.
Rani?
Yeah. Okay, I think we have everyone on the floor. Before we announce the winner, I would like to ask the judges to maybe speak for comments or two on the overall startups that have pitched today. Paul, you want to start?
Yeah, no, that was a great afternoon. I mean, it was tough. We had 10 startups covering a variety of different industries, solving a variety of different problems, and we had 4 judges that actually brought very different perspectives. So it was a very, very engaging discussion during our deliberation. It was tough. I mean, we had 10 great startups.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Hope you enjoy all the process too. Sagar, you wanna chip in on your comments?
Yeah, personally, I enjoyed listening to everyone's pitch. Like all of you have presented it really well. What should I say? And I was so happy seeing that in a way that almost all the companies have a very interesting impact layer embedded to it, which I am a big fan of as a feminist who moved into gender lens investing, and I see so much potential where gender diverse teams and women-led teams actually bring that very interesting impact layer, which I saw today. It was very good. It was personally very tough for me to choose companies at the end, and yeah.
Thank you, Sagar. Wendy, you wanna tell us your part?
Yes, of course. No, I mean, Rani, you know, Virginia, I was talking with Virginia, and I'm actually the one being, you know, very thankful. Really seeing this really gives an uplift to my end of the week, because this is, true. I mean, if all of this, and especially being in Indonesian, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just really amazing of what the impact is. And I think for, you know, it really sounds cliche, but I really feel like everyone here is already a winner. I hate cliche things, guys, to be very honest, but truly, I really do believe in, like, all of these 10 have very great potentials, and definitely it's an interesting, very inspiring to be here.
Thank you, Wendy. Not a cliche for sure. We also believe that everyone's a winner today. Yeah, Tanisha, you want to close off with the last but not least judges' comments?
Sure. I definitely share the sentiments as everyone else. Really happy that I can be a part of today's event and get to meet everyone and see the pictures. And I think everyone did a fantastic job in preparing those pictures. As someone that's been, had the fortune to meet entrepreneurs over the last 4 years, I can say it is extremely strong what everyone put together today as a judge, and having our sort of question time. Often you were addressing everything in such a succinct manner, and really kind of telling us exactly what it is that we wanted to hear, and that's extremely encouraging to see that. A lot of that preparedness and knowing kind of what it is that you kind of want to share with us came across extremely well. So congratulations on that, on some really, really strong pitches, and thank you for letting us be a part of it today.
Thank you, Tanisha. So before we move on to the closing remarks and of course Virgie to announce the winner, Helena, we would like to take a group picture, right? So yep, everyone, please.
Yep, everyone, please get ready and position yourself where we can see your face, and also, yeah, okay, got it. So 1, 2, 3, give us a big smile. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Now we will pass the floor back to Virginia for the announcement. Yay! Drum roll. Before that, let everyone unmute. Okay, please unmute yourself, and then whatever top 3 that we got, just cheer for everyone else. Okay, cheer for yourself and cheer for everyone else. Great job today, guys.
Great job. Yep.
Thank you, Ronnie and Helena. Thank you so much for the dynamic duo and the She Loves Tech and Teja teams for being absolutely incredible. I mean, the one thing I want to say, having run this for 6 years now, is that, the startup quality every year really, just gets better and better, and it's pretty amazing. I am very happy to be able to work with great friends, Sagar, Paul, Tanisha, and Wendy. I think you took the words right out of my mouth. I think the one thing I do want to share, because She Loves Tech's been collecting a lot of data. In the last couple of years, we've actually noticed a lot more sort of, using technology for good, startups which actually really emphasize impact at the heart of their business model as opposed to ancillary to it. And one of the shifts that I've been noticing slowly but surely is that in the past, anything with a social impact, I really felt that conventional VC investors, they really had trouble with it. They felt that if it was impactful, then therefore it was going to be concessionary, in terms of financial returns. But I'm starting to see that change now, finally. And one of the reasons, that they were so inspired and we continue to work hard for She Loves Tech is because we actually noticed that women entrepreneurs, when they build businesses, contributing back and creating that impact is actually one of the biggest drivers to why they build a business in the first place. And in the past, they were often penalized for it. I've seen investors actually say, take the SDGs out of your deck, take the impact stuff out of your deck, just pitch it financially. And I think that's really starting to change, especially in the post-COVID world. So, we here at She Loves Tech and at Teja Ventures, very, very happy and proud to be part of that, of that movement, so to speak, and to be joined by our community. Thank you again to the judges for your time. Now I will start to announce the winners one by one. So let's start with the third place winner. So in third place, we have, drum roll, Nalagenetics. So I'd like to invite Nalagenetics to please say a few words.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, it's been a great experience in the competition. Very happy about the results, and good luck for the other 2 winners. And it's been very great to be a part of this cohort. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Levy. Congratulations.
Thank you. So second place, drum roll. WePlus.
Yay!
Yay. I think you're doing a great service to us all in these times of need. And I personally think that insurance is one of the biggest aspects of actually the she economy, personally. Yeah. So congratulations, Fifi. Perhaps you'd like to say a few words?
Yeah. Thanks a lot. This is it's a very good experience. I think it's looking at my personal background, which is in the corporate for so many years. I think it's when I start this at the age of 41, I think whether you really want to jump or actually you just becoming a very good professional. So I glad actually took that decision 3 years ago. And I think I really support the women. For me personally, I really admire Nalagenetics. I think it's to take that into the next level. So I think it's a woman supporting another woman. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Fifi. And finally, I'm proud to announce that the winner of Siklus Tech 2020 is Krealogi.
Hey!
Yeah.
Great.
Yay!
So it's very, very spot on the theme of technology and the she economy. Please could I, and I actually think very crucial, not just for Indonesia, but our entire region. And with the ability to actually impact, women right at the bottom. Could we please invite the Krealogi team to say a few words, please? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm replacing Ayu actually because she needs to move on to another appointment that she couldn't live on. Thank you very much for choosing us as the winner in the cohort this year. It's really an honor, and we really appreciate everything. And we hope that with Krealogi, we really actually can empower artisans, craft artisans, especially in Indonesia, to be able to level up to the next level. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, congratulations.
And I will just hand over to Rani to officially close off
Thank you.
Indonesia 2020.
Thank you so much, Virginia, and congratulations once again to all the winners. So with that, Krealogi will be representing Indonesia for the global finals. It will start with all the process from next month with the bootcamp and the semifinals, of course, the finals. And I would like to invite everyone to tune in to shelovestech.org for any updates of our international conference, because it will be open for everyone to join. And we would like to thank you again for our speakers, Dayudara Permada, Swidali Shabana. Thank you for Virginia as well for being with us. Thank you for all the judges for being with us from beginning until the end. And thank you for all the startups today. We do all winners today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And of course, this event. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Lena and Rani.
Thank you all.
Everybody, bye.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone. You all are winners.
Thank you very much. Great time.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank
all the
you.
best.
Thanks,
luck.
everyone.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Rani, you're playing it?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to She Loves Tech 2019. You are now a part of the largest women in tech startup competition in the world.
Over 80% of our 70,000 teachers are female, and I just feel fortunate.